Are you happy now? Are you happy now?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your second iteration of your Straight Rippin' Pro Scrim Night. And I'm one of your co-hosts, Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting. And this highly handsome gentleman in front of me is Elamite. I don't even need, work hard until you don't need to introduce yourself, because Elamite War has been that guy for quite some time.
Tony, you're the king of the show here. It's all you. I've enjoyed your work for many a time, so it's a pleasure to be back in the booth with you.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we see you here in the gaming museum. I love the background of your of your gaming room setup, guys. You see a whole lot of Straight Rippin' memorabilia back there, and there's a reason for that, because Straight Rippin' has been there, done that, and they are back. And one of the events that we're hosting, and hopefully once a week, honestly, is these Pro Scrim Nights. Last week we had an absolute banger for you guys, and we're coming back with another one. KrakenSeas going up against TaylorMade. In case you guys have been hiding under a rock a little bit, I want to talk to you a little about these squads: Boo Boo Dubu, Druck, Falcated, Soul Snipe, and I mean, you're talking about two duos coming together, highly impressive, and looking to make a new crew with this KrakenSeas roster. Elamite, talk to me about this roster.
I mean, well, first I would highlight for a second here. Speaking of last week till now, I mean, what a show we had, and incredible performance from Luminon to go from what we had last week in Scrims to turn that around and what we saw in the tournament. So excited for whatever happens today, because that could be an exact replica of what we just saw last week. With these two rosters, and it's almost like throwing some names in a hat and drawing them out at this point, because it is tough to keep track of the bouncing around here and some of the changes and how quickly some of this happens on a day-to-day basis here. But this is a team where we've got two duos coming back together, ones that we know that when they are together, they can almost guarantee one of those top spots, and looking to just make it happen again.
Absolutely, KrakenSeas. We definitely know, if there's one thing we know about them, is that they're unpredictable. If there's ever a time that you think you can count them out, the likes of everybody on this roster, they will surprise you just as quickly. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, speaking of surprises, you have a lot of players coming together for the first time. We haven't seen Yaxon, Sab, and Suppressed teaming together in the past, and we definitely didn't see Acid, standout player from Latin America, coming in, who's been doing that recently. And now you just have this almost random squad, almost feels like a pickup squad, but they're super talented, and they will stack some wins on the board.
Right? It's hard to say pickup squad when you've got, four players that have been really, I would say, in the last, year, especially here 2026, have been standout players for their rosters in many cases. Suppressed having a second place finish. Sab has done really well and been like a highly coveted kind of substitute player and been in some of these top teams some of these times. Acid, he's like a human highlight reel right now. We see him just nonstop filling the highlight reels, especially with his sprint strafes and everything he's been doing. And of course, snipes from everyone Yaxon across the board. I mean, this is a team that is very scary. If you're not on your A game and you're not like going into a series ready, like this is a team that will just run it all the way, to the end, all the way to Sunday.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that you have four players that at any point in time can pop a 40 bomb seemingly out of nowhere. In a Slayer, probably, even if they wanted to. We're talking about very talented players on this TaylorMade squad. And it's just one of the reasons why I'm excited to see them go up against KrakenSeas, because we've seen what practice can do for a crew. Like we saw Luminon coming against Shopify Rebellion, and things didn't exactly go their way. Although close matches, when you looked at the total score line, it didn't look all that great for Luminon. But then come the tournament right afterwards, they played them fantastically in that championship Thursday. And then 2 days later, end up knocking them down to the lower bracket in that winners bracket semifinals of the Atlanta Open #2, and playing them really well in the grand finals as well. Like, we actually seen teams, when they come back from scrims, come back, do the VOD review, and continue to look better and better on our road to Atlanta. We're hoping to see the same thing with KrakenSeas and TaylorMade.
Yeah, I mean, the tournament this past weekend was just incredible as well. Luminon, Shopify, both showing kind of like what they can do with their A game. And one of the coolest topics that we haven't had a chance to really talk about or I brought up earlier was in fact just how you can go from what was it 10-1 I believe in the series, although a lot of the games were closer than that, how you can go from 10-1 to actually beating and knocking down a team in a 3-1 fashion, right? So, you know, going from losing the first game to reverse sweeping it as well. So a lot of like, really good things. So obviously these guys watched the VOD. They're going to these games extremely prepared. You're seeing which teams like really want it at this point.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to get our players in the lobby here, and man, it feels so good to be under that straight ripping banner. Obviously, Eli, you already been there back in the day. You already know what it's like. But for somebody like myself, I go back to 2008 and back then, and I'm ordering my Domino's, I'm drinking my Mountain Dew, and I'm watching every single event. I wasn't there like you, but I'm watching every single event. I'm over here cheering, in my room and having a great time, and it's just when I think of Halo esports, it's hard to mention Halo esports in any way, shape, or form and not talk about straight ripping. If you don't mind, while we're waiting for the players to come into the lobby, just kind of talk to me. What does straight ripping mean to you, if you don't mind, Kyle?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I have had a lot of success in Halo, and it's something I've loved. As soon as I started playing with it, since we do have a minute to kill, going while we wait for the players to get into the game. Um, I was at home watching, and 2005, most of the tournaments with my Mountain Dew and my pizza and everything else too, right? And buddies would come over to the house, we'd land, we'd watch all the tournaments online, our laptops out, we'd have like 8 streams going, who's kind of plus the internet's terrible at the time. None of us would be lined up in the VOD. You'd have like 30-minute delays in between screens and what's happening. Um, but I was just watching at home. I'd never even been to an event. I was like, that looks so cool, dude. I want to go to an event so bad. Oh, yeah, I want to play. You do this. And then I got destroyed at my first tournament. Um, just absolutely terrible. I never even played with a BR start. We're still Team Slayer SMG guys just playing matchmaking. I was like, wow, this was crazy. I didn't know this existed. Like, I want to go to another one. Then I get super blessed because the second tournament I go to, and we have a team to go to the tournament, and the night before we leave, they leave us. And it's me and Strongside, and we don't have a team anymore. We're like, screw it, let's still go. We'll try to find some players at the event. This is actually a crazy story. We'll try to find some players at the event and make a team. Well, back then you get seeded based on FFA. So this is our first real event we've ever been to, and we play in FFA. We both get top 16 and top 8 in the free for all, and now we're the 4th seed at the tournament. These two kids, no one ever knows who they are because we did so well. We picked up 2 other guys on our team, and because we're 4th seed, then you do something, I forget what it's called. For like pool for seeding, you then play people in your group. So it's like groups for pools. And this is 2005. And the other crazy thing about this is this event was at Evo in 2005. So the first real event I ever go to is freaking Evo, which is insane if you've ever been. And then it's Halo as well, which is also insane because that's never happened since then, I don't think. So like this is the coolest event ever. And so we go and we play straight ripping in our very first game ever with 2 kids we've never even met before at our first event. And we beat them in the first game.
No
And
shot.
then everyone is around the venue, even staff. And everyone's going nuts because no one even knows who we are. We've never even been to an event. And then the other key part is the Ogres and Final Boss were in like Singapore for their 2v2 tournament or something like that. So Sherry Rippin was the favorites to win. The STK wasn't even at the event. So we get destroyed in the 4v4. We weren't prepared or anything. We just kind of played out of our minds to start. And you only play 2 games. We win the first one and lose the second one. And then the pools were like all messed up because our team kind of like messed up the rankings for, the teams that have been going to the events all year long and everything like that. So that was a crazy event. I think we ended up like top 16 or something in the team. But, we go to our first event. We do really well in the free-for-all, playing all the pros. And, in that time as well, that's back when friends lists were super coveted as well. They, we start getting friends lists, pros, and adding, and then we both kind of make our ways up. Sharkside goes to Final Boss, and I go to Shay Rippin eventually. And, then the rest is history. Or it's all history.
Love that, love that. I mean, I think of multiple things. Number one, I didn't even know there was a Halo tournament at Evo. Like the energy must have been crazy in that venue. I can only imagine between Halo and all the fighting games and whatnot. Oh my gosh!
Mhm.
And number two, I kind of want to. Is there ever a point in time we could bring back free for alls for seedings? Like I think that's actually a really cool idea and a really good opportunity for maybe some players, some up and coming players to show what they got a little bit in a different format. Honestly, how many times have we seen players get known from their obviously free fall doesn't always translate 1-to-1 to fours, but you see somebody's talent. Hold on, I could take this guy under my wing and we could do something with this guy. Oh man, that brought me back a little bit. I thank you, Kyle. Elamite, the bracket buster warrior, stealing fourth seed from
That was my first time
everybody.
meeting. That was my first time meeting Tom or any of the Sherpin guys. Obviously, it's our first event, so that was super funny. And needless to say, they were not happy that we beat them in that game. And yeah, there's some funny times.
Well, so what do you mean? They were so happy that they eventually ended up teaming with you. That they
I
were
think
so
initially
happy.
there was some like no handshaking and stuff going on, and we were like, "What?" This is our first event we've ever been to. I'm like, this is crazy.
When your idols become your rivals, kind of thing, man. From watching
So
straight
funny.
whipping to not getting the handshakes afterwards. That was a great story. I'm sure you have plenty of those. By the way, if you guys haven't already, make sure you're following the straight whipping stream because you already know bringing all the Halo action tip for you, watch parties for the events, and even pro scrims like this. But also give Elamite a follow as well. His right on the title, you can follow him right from the straight whipping title. I'm sure he has some more stories like that in the books as well. As we're still, I know we're still waiting. In case you guys are coming back from the stream here or coming to the stream for the first time, we're gonna have KrakenSeas going up against Taylor Made. And actually, we're not waiting any longer whatsoever. Actually, the game is about to start here. Game number one, KrakenSeas. In case you need a reminder, Druck, Solstice, Falcade, and Boo Boo Doobu going up against Taylor Made that suppressed Sab, Action, Yaxon, and Acid coming together. A very good tailor-made squad that should be the favorites on paper, but I keep telling y'all, man, I never want to count KrakenSeas out, especially when we get to Origin Capture the Flag. You know, that's their bread and butter. So I hear game number one's about to be on its way. And actually, you know what? Wait, I'm gonna try to find out what that game number one is, actually.
Round one. Ball
Looks like
Okay.
we are going into live fire oddball.
Good warm up. Nice. I like this. It's a good warm up. I feel like Oddball is the longest game type there is. Live fire, great to just fire your gun as much as possible. So by the time this game number one is done, both teams should be warmed up and definitely ready to go here. As I mean, hey, this might be for the first time some of these guys have fired their gun all day. It's still early.
Yeah, nice shots by Acid. Does connect on the snipe shot onto Druck and B. Takes him out here. Live fire oddball, I mean, Tony, that's definitely got to be, at least from my experience with Scrims and coaching in Halo Infinite, definitely the most common game number one. For whatever reason, or I think definitely the longevity of the game, the warm-up style, people just want to run around and shoot a little bit. Live fire oddball is the one that gives you kind of the best opportunity to do that.
Yeah, Live Fire is definitely one of my favorite maps on this game as well. As I just think it's punishing. If you go 3 down, you go 4 down, you're gonna see this multiple times with both of these teams. They will stretch out on the map. They will take space. They will attack those spawns because they're fairly easy to manipulate on this map. You think of this map, Vacancy, and Solitude as some of the most punishing maps that we have on the circuit.
And Sniper changing hands over to Falcade, and he cleans one up. That's 3 down now for Taylor Made, and ball is going to be delivered here to KrakenSeas as well. So finally, starting to see some time on the board.
Falcade with the sniper, but the nades gonna be good enough to take down Acid. Nice little shot to the knee for Yaxon as KrakenSeas opening up with a decent lead early on, but more importantly, now that taking that space that we talked about and influencing where those spawns and where the enemy team can go. Sab and Taylor Made gonna try to push over to the A side. Might be a little bit too late. The rotation's already made it towards green. If they get overwhelmed, that ball will be played, but Sab perfect 5-shot onto Falcated. Does some bonus damage alongside Soul Snipe. Beautifully played by Sab and TaylorMade.
Yeah, trades going all around. 30 points on the board now for KrakenSeas, though. Almost a third of the way through the game. Back and forth trades once again. Acid grabs the ball. 4 slays apiece for KrakenSeas. Sab leading the board with 7 here for TaylorMade. We'll see what Acid does here as Camo is spawning now.
32-19 lead here for KrakenSeas. Acid wants to join up with his teammate, provide a little bit of cover fire. It doesn't need to. A little trade goes down, and now maybe a bit of a 1v1 against Druck for this camouflage, and Druck was ready for it. Also having some help from Boo Boo Doobu before getting taken down. Druck not able to play for the camouflage just yet, having to collect a new angle, while Suppressed and TaylorMade, they'll collect the ball.
Oh, great grenade comes in, though, from Druck. He'll be able to grab himself 2 as he gets a ninja. We'll let it says ninja, so I guess we'll count it here. Gets the sniper, connects on a body shot as well, and man, what a delayed camo grab that was as well. I mean, sniper was spawning before that camo was even picked up. Soul Snipe does, or is the one that escapes with that. Druck still with sniper, holding towards tower side. Does get a nice snipe. Repulsor makes this an easy melee trade. 2 dead, and it looks like TaylorMade, they're definitely gonna have to reset this, and this should be another significant chunk of time for Kraken.
Enemy halfway to victory.
KrakenSeas still scoring. Druck still lining up with the snipe. Ends up hitting the body shot. Teammates quickly there for the double kill. That Soul Snipe awarded both of those kills. Meanwhile, KrakenSeas still scoring. TaylorMade struggling to get this ball out of their hands here, and by the time they do, it's gonna end up being played off the map. TaylorMade falling way too far behind in round number 1.
That Boo Boo Falcated duo and the ball time they can lock down here in these situations, showing off very well and working well off an early start here for Druck and Soul Snipe with them. Ball just spawn bottom middle, another 25 points. I mean, based on how they're playing, it's 3 holds and, you know, to win the game if you're kind of progressing this way. So we've got KrakenSeas in really good position. TaylorMade, they can't, or you got to get ready to start playing perfect Halo at this point.
Enemy has the ball.
Acid with the protection grenade trying to get Soul Snipe, but Soul Snipe somehow finds the exit route, and you know who's there to cover his back? Longtime best friend in Druck, who ends up getting the cleanup onto Acid. Boo Boo Doobu, meanwhile, softening up his former teammate in Sab, and maybe just long enough for them to grab a hold of the ball that ultimately TaylorMade can't afford this time.
Yeah, and this is where you have to start deciding how TaylorMade wants to play this. With only 20 to win, you have camo spawning as well. So do you rotate the ball? Do you contest the camo? It looks like the decision's been made. Ubu plays that, does get a kill with the help of the repulsor, but no damage onto this player in top center. As I say that, though, it's 3 dead momentarily. Falcated did get away with the camo. He'll pass the ball over to Soul Snipe, and this is the final push now for TaylorMade.
Camo's doing the hands of Falcated here are going to be really tough to get that ball out of the A side when you have camouflage putting some easy shots into the back. 3 down go TaylorMade, and that might just be all she wrote. Suppressed. Can you take the 1v2? First is Boo Boo Doobu. You take down 1, but the ball's being rotated. As Suppressed goes down, so do TaylorMade's hopes of taking round number 1.
Yeah, really clean game overall by KrakenSeas. You can see they're just kind of much cleaner on the decision-making process, kind of looking like everyone's on the same page a little bit more to start the game. But like we said, it's live fire oddball. It's the first game of the series. It's essentially a warm-up game. Whatever happens here will by no means dictate the rest of the series.
I guess one thing that people don't give a lot of respect to KrakenSeas, that maybe they don't see what happens in the background of things. But KrakenSeas, like when you think of Druck and a Soul Snipe, like they are very strict when it comes to their film review. They are doing tons of it, and they take it very seriously so they can continue to improve. A lot of people will see them as, my gosh, nice little double from Yaxon. A lot of people see them as that scrappy Halo 5 kids and whatnot, super talented, but no, they take film review seriously. They play a ton of 8s, and they always are looking to improve. Meanwhile, apparently TaylorMade doing the same thing, because you get camouflage over a very prepared KrakenSeas, and you just put them 3 down. Very good for TaylorMade.
Yeah, Acid, though, has that camo. He will find the kill under the ball carrier. Your last 2 players from KrakenSeas are pushing to make sure they can clean up this kill. Sure enough, they will take out Acid. Jackson, however, he has the sniper rifle. He's got B. He's trying to provide some protection here for the ball carriers. He tries to rotate, not able to connect on those shots. 2 left in the chamber now. Looks like a good push comes in. 2 members dead for KrakenSeas. 1 player, no shields, top middle. I'd like to see them get the ball and get away here, as we do see that. Might as well keep the ball back B. Allow yourself to be able to play it if needed. Jackson, I kind of like this play. He's going for the flank, keeping some good aggression, but not able to connect on the shots and will go down with, I think, 1 shot left in the sniper. TaylorMade does go 4 dead. I'd like to have seen them get a little bit more time. That could have been a big opportunity to kind of rack up some more time.
Yeah, only 14 seconds here for TaylorMade. A very early pull coming from KrakenSeas and losing a player in the meantime, trying to rotate that back over toward the A side of the map. But Boobadooboo firing on all cylinders and on the screen side as well. Both players down to 1 shot, but both doing, more importantly, surviving as everybody covering each other's backs. KrakenSeas now get a bit of that slay advantage, and they're not wasting any time hopping on the ball.
And getting some ball time, that's what we like to see. Boo Boo, he's been leading the ball time for his team, as well as the assists, sitting at 13. They're trying to move the ball out towards back B, but a really good job of Acid here with the QT to extend his life, keep him guessing. Another great grenade comes in. Druck goes down to 1 shot. As we see the big numbers advantage now for TaylorMade. Druck with another great play ball.
Ball out of bounds.
Seeking in a battle, repulsor play comes in. Nice job there. Suppress. He's going to be trying to cut off some angles. Looks like TaylorMade wants to play B here again.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
Sad with a camo. Ends up finally getting that trade out in kills because Boobadooboo hits a nice stick to neutralize the situation and cause Sniper to hit the ground here. Now TaylorMade having to pull themselves away from the tower side in order to grab a hold of that Sniper, and the green gun apparently getting value as well in the hands of Acid. Soul Snipe though tagging him up left and right, eventually getting the slay, and KrakenSeas as objective efficient as ever. The moment they get a kill, that ball's already on tower.
It kind of just seems like the power weapon plays here for TaylorMade just aren't being very efficient. I want to say, like, every time they have camo, every time they have snipe, you're really not seeing anything more than just like 1 kill or a trade. And every time they have huge numbers advantage, there's not much significant time, you know, being accumulated from that here. As we see, KrakenSeas on their hind foot or back foot most of the game is already in the lead, or just losing the lead now.
40 points in count here for TaylorMade, killing spree coming out of Acid. Boobadooboo is over toward the cut side. Not sure if they're aware of it just yet, so Boobadooboo can become a bit of a nuisance, but as he's waiting for his teammates to spawn up, TaylorMade are scoring. Boobadooboo would love to get an easy kill there, but Acid wins Pivs even against the like of Majin Boo Boo.
That was wild. Boo Boo, you know, Acid definitely not expecting that as he pushes up cuts. Boo Boo getting the first shot on him, but that straight, I mean, didn't really look like he was missing per se, but that's one of the great things about some of these players. Acid with the strafe, with the crouching, able to just make you miss that 1 shot so you can come away with the victory.
Enemy has the ball.
A nice 69 points have been accumulated by TaylorMade, but Boobadooboo and KrakenSeas trying to infiltrate real quick. Boobadooboo gets called out, and the same for Soul Snipe. So now Falcon, you may have ball, but right now TaylorMade have you in their sights, and camouflage in the hands of Acid. Easy kills as KrakenSeas falling left and right. 1 more half a round of slays, and we could see that ball make its way towards tower. Sab somehow surviving that. Don't even know where Boobadooboo just came from, but the camo eyes gets him the trade.
Yeah, but I mean, even after all that, they still, well, they do walk away here. Can they get any big chunks of time again? Sure enough, with this a little bit of a lead, being able to rotate that ball, but wow. There's some crazy nades. Looks like it all just came from C and dummies, but great grenades come in to actually clean up that ball time. They only get a few seconds off of it. 3 dead now for both squads. Boobadooboo's got to keep TaylorMade off of the ball. He does get into his engagement. A second player coming in. Help does come in from Druck, though. Sniper getting ready to spawn. 1:15 left on the clock. 3 dead for KrakenSeas once again. It's all in the hands of Soul Snipe.
Ball reset. Ball.
Full sniper in his hands at the moment here. Just waiting for TaylorMade to push through that key door side. A high IQ play to repost the ball towards his teammates and then absolutely tears Jackson's head off with a quick scope to the dome. Somehow, TaylorMade are able to get the first few picks after that, but they don't know where Soul Snipe is attacking from. He's just finding the backside of every player on TaylorMade and being an absolute nuisance. Okay, Mikey, I see you.
We said Soul Snipe has the game in his hands, and he's taking over right now. 27 kills out of him. As you see, KrakenSeas trying to start getting some more of this ball time, but not able to quite kind of lock it down. As I say that, though, Suppressed, he's going to start pushing across top middle. It's a 3v3 scenario. Boo Boo's trying to play sneaky. He's got the QT. Likes to take it out pretty early. See how this one plays out. Big win out of Suppress. That puts 2 down for KrakenSeas, and with only 36 seconds left on the clock, this is trouble.
I will say TaylorMade, they had quite the lead for quite some time, but we see KrakenSeas start to eat away at that lead, but you're running out of runway here. You gotta get the lead before this 30 seconds is up. Soul Snipe maybe biting off a bit more than he could chew. They're surrounded by multiple members of TaylorMade, as TaylorMade now going to use the shot clock against KrakenSeas. They're playing Slayer right now, and you just allowed Suppressed to get a hold of a camouflage. That might be all she wrote, Kyle.
And Druk somehow keeps them in this game by staying alive and grabbing an extra kill as the last player alive. I think that's Camo that just went down as well, so a 3v2, but the grenades come in at just the right time. TaylorMade going clutch here at the end and tying this one up, and an extra 5 seconds on the clock. That might have looked a lot different.
Ball incoming.
All right, well, round number 3 here. We said this is a game type that both teams are going to be quite warmed up at the end of. Well, you're seeing it right here, right now. But 25-minute game is not uncharacteristic like for oddball on live fire, especially against 2 evenly matched teams.
As it does go down, that's going to put Sniper bottom mid. As you see, Sab and player Kedor working together. Boo doing what he can, does pick up the kill. A little bit surprising. Nice job by Boo. See the rest of the team, though, starting to rack up the assists as well. Druk, 23 and 17. With Soul Snipe, 32 and 12. Boo, he's got 88 seconds of ball time, doing what he can to take this one for the team and an early lead in the series.
Enemy has the ball.
And Suppressed, who was seemingly struggling in the early game. I think he started off maybe like 2-9, eventually like 7-14, but he seems to really have found his footing here. Assists are looking great. Just stacked another one, only down -2 as far as KD wise, and my man is sticking everybody on the map. Okay, looking like a grunt on legendary mode.
That was really nice plays. Has the plasmas, takes them around towards cut side, gets not 1 but 2 sticks, and pretty high level sticks as well, with both players, you know, moving, given one had his back towards him, but nonetheless, great overall plays, locks down a good 30-second chunk of time off of that camo plasma play.
I love this angle here from Acid, not only being a pain and a thorn in the side of every member from KrakenSeas that's trying to cross over, but also gaining knowledge and feeding it towards the enemy team, towards his teammates, letting them know exactly where the enemy is, and once they're ready to strike, they come in quick, and those are some big slays by TaylorMade, 64 points and counting. However, KrakenSeas, they did spawn a bit closer to the ball than expected here.
Yeah, they know they got to move quickly here. Soul Snipe gets up the top tower, picks up a second kill. That puts 2 dead now for TaylorMade. You've got Camo coming up in 15. 4 dead. Suppressed is the first one to spawn. That'll happen over towards B. He's quickly looking to get into A. We'll see if he finds an angle. Camo's coming up in 7. It looks like he does get spotted.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I love the thought process by TaylorMade right there, playing the green side, attacking KrakenSeas right where they spawn over towards A, but it felt like they were so quick and they kind of lingered for a bit that Kraken spawned Camo and dummies and kind of got really quick towards the ball, eventually got to 4 it down, and ultimately points that you just don't want Kraken to have there. So the thought process is there, maybe the execution might have been just slightly off, and now KrakenSeas are scoring and also have a camouflage.
Great plays by Druck, though. I like him grabbing camo and going immediately for the ball. He also buys himself a good like 5 to 7 seconds of extra camo time to use here, as he popped it very late. Snipe is up. He's going to use plasma pistol, try to contest these players. Isn't trying to risk going for any like no scopes, just doing what he can, get some damage down, work with his teammates, and make sure he gets full use from the camo.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people at home just don't see the as much of the value from a late camo pull, but it really is. I mean, it's 45 seconds, and if you can pop it a little bit later and get every last bit of value, you're talking about an extra 10, 20, sometimes 25% of that camouflage, which could be an extra kill or two, which can be a ton of time for your team. Only down by 5 points right now is KrakenSeas, Boo Boo Doo just about a full sniper in his hands right now. This is gonna be a lot of responsibility out of Majin Boo Boo.
Ooh, nice snipe from Boo Boo. And, you know, talking about that camo a little bit, as Boo Boo grabs a second kill and puts 3 dead for Taylor Made, and actually the lead here for the team also. But to that camo play, just to add really briefly, is that last backsmack he got was literally off of the late camo kind of pop.
Enemy team nearing victory.
Big time plays being made and they're paying dividends, but the end game isn't here just yet as Boo Boo Doo Boo takes to the sky Sab. Oh my gosh, that could have been bad, but eventually Sab stays alive and gets a hold of the sniper, and this is a dynamic sniper. Sab not only can hold things down over toward the tower side, but if he wants to get aggro with it, he's pretty damn good. Sab is one of my favorite snipers, and let's see what he can do with it.
Yeah, but luckily that snipe does get taken out and used up here as well. That was a scary moment for KrakenSeas, as a very close game and only 1 to 2 more holds or pushes. 10 seconds to win though, so make that the very last push here, as Acid's doing what he can, but he's in a tough spot to try to break out. Soul Snipe, neither player able to finish each other off to start, but that's going to be enough time bot. So KrakenSeas comes back and takes game number 1. 38 out of Soul Snipe, as well as some clutch plays at the end there to secure his team the win.
Yeah, I want to see all those stats because there was a ton of plays being made across the board, but I think Soul Snipe definitely did lead the slays. I mean, my man was popping off, and the plays that he was making with the sniper himself, but almost like a flanking sniper, was kind of really exciting to watch. There's only 3 things guaranteed in life, you know, and that's taxes, me having a birthday every day, and of course, Soul Snipe going off with the sniper on live fire.
Yeah, big shout out to Precision for the raid as well. Thank you. As we get ready for game number 2, you know, I think we saw great signs of kind of performance from both of those teams. One of the reasons why live fire oddball commonly finds itself as that game number 1. You know, as you said, a couple of the players having a very slow start in round number 1. They picked it up in rounds 2 and 3. But game was 1 ultimately finds its way over to KrakenSeas. Pretty exciting stuff, though. I mean, we have some predictions, or I wonder if we have any predictions from people in the chat for what the series is going to look like after that game 1. As we know, there is money on the line here as well for these teams, so they're going to be doing everything they can here to keep the intensity. Like, these scrims are, you know, a little bit different, I would say, than a lot of scrims. Well, even, you know, there's money 8s, which happen a lot, of course, which bring the high energy and intensity, but there'd be money scrims going on every now and again. But generally by, I'd say, like the end of each kind of scrim period, it would fall out a little bit as you kind of get comfortable or understand what consistent results are between those teams. But this is a scenario that brings that kind of energy back. And with 11 games to play, one is, you know, you let 1 or 2 go, that's no problem. But like we said, game number 1, the warm-up game is done. There's no slayers to be had here, so it's just objectives across the board. Still anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Moon Dizzle earlier say he thought a 9-2 prediction in favor of Taylor Made. If out of 11 games, I probably would have 8-3 in favor of Taylor Made as well. And KrakenSeas showing that, again, if you count us out, we're gonna prove you wrong time and time again. I mean, Druck and Soul Snipe have been doing that since they first were together, getting top 6 like DreamHack Atlanta, 2000 I'm sorry, 2012 or something, whatever it was, and then even as recently as the first Worlds. I mean, they got third place at the first Worlds. I mean, they've been proving people wrong for a very, very long time.
And it's a team and players that are still really hungry for it as well. Sometimes you see, like, especially with so many team changes happening, or, you know, even in the current state, how many people kind of left or retired and come back. I mean, these guys have been grinding the whole time, if I'm not mistaken. There were no kind of retirement segments or kind of stepaways. They've been wanting it. Like we said, they've had some of those top performances. They've had the taste of winning, but they're still looking to get that win.
Jackson with a pretty interesting triple kill right there. Maybe play a little bit of SWAT for some of those kills, but able to get just that. And, ooh, Acid. All right, over toward the elbow side, try to make things happen. This elbow side run. I know Coach Callis on the ones and twos, the observer mode, he's always talking about how important controlling the elbow is on Origin.
And speaking of elbow control, I mean, Acid just playing it perfectly, making sure that he's not taking any kind of untraded or undue damage in those scenarios. Just perfect shots, understanding where the sight lines are and the angles of where you need to line up your shots to kind of take those engagements, and ultimately gets rewarded with the sniper rifle.
Okay, Acid somehow still alive and kicking. He's 4-1 at the moment. It's just been kind of dominating this side of the map. Now with the sniper, and although connects with the body shot, not able to do the same for the head. Boo Boo Doo survives. Druck gonna continue to push forward here, has Sab in his sights, and some good damage and some extra onto Jackson. Will Jackson cleaned up? Apparently he will. And hold on, Falcated wins this battle. That's 3 down for TaylorMade.
3 dead, make that 4, but Soul Snipe picks up a very, or gets stuck in a very unlucky way here. Crucial plays from TaylorMade to delay the flag from moving here at all. Falcated also goes down. As you see here, Suppressed looking to push out of the base. You've got Rocket spawning up in 10. Double push coming in. Acid does grab a kill. Jackson 1. That puts 3 dead now. Rockets are spawning in 2. You're going to have to slay again if you want to get this flag pulled, but they're in perfect position to do that.
Once again, Jackson and TaylorMade favoring this elbow side, making sure they always have a player just being a nuisance to the spawners of KrakenSeas, and it is working. Especially when you have the carbine that spawns there. You have long range angles and one of the best long range weapons in the game right now. As 3 down, go KrakenSeas. The 4th one's gonna fall as well. This flag is on the move, and if Kraken don't get moving themselves, it's gonna make it home.
On top of that, you've got a sniper spawning here as well. You can see Acid makes a crucial play to actually pick up one of the kills. Wasn't expecting 2 people to be hiding in cave. As I say that though, KrakenSeas and Soul Snipe grabs himself a double. That's 3 dead. Jackson gonna do all he can to try to kind of stop this flag from moving as well. Looks like they're not sure where he is exactly, but as I say that, Falcated picks up the kill, sees 2 on his screens. Or on his screen, connects on 1 with the headshot. 2, that's 3 dead for TaylorMade once again. Did he just hit that? He did. Wow, Falcated, not missing.
And it feels like that's exactly where KrakenSeas are at their most dangerous, getting a clutch stop like that, but also making the game very scrappy, you know, really muddying the waters a bit. And once they do that, they're able to get a huge counter cap there, and TaylorMade are kicking themselves like, how did we not get that cap? How did we let them get a cap? What just happened? Well, KrakenSeas just happened.
And that's that objective efficiency and exactly what we saw out of game number 1. Even with all that happening, TaylorMade, Jackson has 13 kills here for a squad already, and they've had multiple pulls, just not able to move the flag effectively. Suppressed with sniper in hand, 3 shots left to work with, misses the first. Like his repositioning here. Be able to find the kill on Druck most likely, or at least the teammate cleans it up. That's 2 dead once again. Nice body shot. All these players just connecting on these no-scopes, making the game so difficult for anyone to kind of walk away with more than 1 kill.
And this could be the spark that TaylorMade needed, because this time looks like that flag made it a whole lot farther before anybody's able to get activated on the map. And although Falcon is there and gets a clutch kill, I don't see a world where he survives this. Falcated, a big piv, and his team, dude, what? Falcated literally turning lemons into margaritas. What the heck? Somehow they get the flag cap, but Falcated almost clutched up.
Falcated was pulling rabbits out of his hat right there. Somehow walks away with 3 kills, but ultimately wasn't enough at the end of the day, and TaylorMade will go ahead and tie up this game. Not able to connect on that as well. That'll take Falcated out once again. I mean, even considering that, Tony, like, we're watching Falcated. He basically guaranteed his team the first flag capture. He almost guaranteed his team a flag return. But with that being said, he has 11 kills, and Jackson has 19.
Yeah, I feel like Yax is demanding us to hop on his screen more. We gotta figure. It feels like a quiet 19 kills, but if I know Jackson, he's getting loud in the comms right now, just being real sneaky. And again, it's always TaylorMade making sure they have a player being annoying here on the elbow side, whether it's Jackson or we've seen Acid in this very same position multiple times. This is how they start their push. Put a player over toward the enemy side perimeter, and whether they run the flag that way or not, you have to respect that player, especially when they have the carbine.
Yeah, you can see now 20 for Jackson as he breaks into the 20 kill mark. Flag is out, but most likely going to get returned here. Soul Snipe can't do anything though. That puts 4 dead as Falcated also drops. Jackson putting just an insane amount of damage out with this carbine, but has to immediately evacuate as you see 4 dead for TaylorMade. I don't even know how that just happened.
Yeah, and that's sometimes, I guess, sometimes the issue when it comes to hold on to the elbow side, because if you don't run it towards elbow, the enemy team spawns cave, and they were running a cave, and it was just highly unfortunate. You ran the flag towards where they were spawning, you get stopped, the return happens, and you give KrakenSeas an inch, and they oftentimes are gonna take a mile. Before you know it, that flag is over toward their silver, and now your offense quickly has to turn into defense. You have to defend this flag. You have to get the return when you were just in the driver's seat not that long ago.
I think we're ready for a listen in here for KrakenSeas and see how they're putting this game together and securing the second cap.
On the carbine. It's absolutely good.
One shot their basement. One shot their basement in their elbow. Their rockets over one shot. And top rocks now.
Delay.
Looking at rockets. One rocket's
Top
acid.
rocks.
One rocket's one shot. One shot top rocks, guys. One shot top rocks.
Nice.
Nice. I'm going for rocket.
I needed that just.
Nice sprint straight.
That's
Nice
good.
sprint straight.
They're just cave. I'm trying to pick it up.
No darkness, mate.
Two on me. There's sniper.
Wait,
There's
okay.
sniper.
We took cave.
One cave. There's actually
Watch
max
the cave.
damage.
I died, I found. One shot
One shot their
top
sniper.
On their elbow.
And their basement.
Dude. Oh! We found the flag. The window. The window. We're not coming out. No more rockets.
They somehow still go 3 down. Wow.
Bottom mid, that's him. Bottom mid, one shot
God.
towards French.
Once again, we see Falcated on screen there, and once again, just dropping bombs. Nice little triple kill courtesy of the sprint strafe. I love the comms being very calm, cool, collected. A lot of times, I would say when you listen to some of the old KCP rosters or the old rosters that featured a Soul Snipe and a Druk, they'd be very frantic comms, but I guess Boo Boo Doo and Falcated add this almost like veteranship, this like calmness to the comms, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah, and it was kind of a little disheartening on that push as well, though, because you see Falcated, he flies up, gets a triple kill, gets into their base. They also get rockets off of that, but immediately kind of just all go down and basically get countercapped on. So 2-2 now in this game with 3 minutes left to play. Bottom middle is a very highly contested area as you see players dropping left and right. That's going to put Soul Snipe in a tough spot. Needs to live test sniper rifle as well. Almost wins a huge piv on to suppress, but gets taken out. This is going to put them in a tough spot, Tony.
Despite the great communication and despite the triple kill from Falcated, we saw a counter cap earlier, and now we see the follow-up as well as this flag now being relayed over toward the Snipe side. We do see a player more forward on the map who's able to take down the flag carrier. That was Soul Snipe, who sneaks in a big kill, but he's surrounded by multiple members of TaylorMade, and Boo Boo Doo is way too far behind. That third flag cap is going in, and TaylorMade, welcome to the series board.
Wow, great game from TaylorMade. Ties up this series with this win on Origin. Jackson, we didn't see, like you said, it was kind of a quiet top frag game, as every time we were on board with Falcated, he's grabbing a triple kill, or, you know, sniper in his hands. Jackson, however, he was just consistently pumping out the kills here. So we'll definitely have to take a look at the damage and kind of see who was the most impactful players here on the map. Assists are quite odd, to say the least, here for KrakenSeas.
Yeah, seeing double-digit assists out of 2 players, then seeing 1 player with like 1 assist is definitely definitely interesting. Something you don't see every day. But one thing I will say we see oftentimes with TaylorMade is no matter the situation, no matter the score line of a player like Suppressed, for some reason he's just a damage dealer. So even when he's not leading in the kills department or even the assist department, somehow, some way, he'll be leading in damage and also having a very good damage differential with taking as little damage as possible. He picks and chooses his routes and his battles so well, high accuracy, high damage. So even though Jackson dropping a damn near 30 bomb, Suppressed somehow leading damage throughout the entire lobby.
Yeah, and Suppressed had 70% accuracy that game as well. So leading the damage and being very efficient with his shots as he does so. Great win, considering they're down 2-1 in that game as well. And like I said, the really disheartening part probably would be that falcated play, getting a triple kill, jumping on their flag, opportunity to run it with rockets, but just gets turned around and counter-capped on, and ultimately that closes out the game. But that's Halo Infinite and some of these game types as well, you know, whether or not it's like Fortress, I mean, even Forbidden will play that way sometimes. It could be very tough, although those maps are much larger. You can see just how quickly you can move maps with the movement tech in the game, and how quickly it can just be over.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people at home are probably saying, "Oh, you know, it's just scrims and whatnot. It doesn't mean anything." But I will say, hey, you know, if you practice how you're gonna play situations, when you get into those clutch situations, you're gonna lean on your tendencies or lean on your practice. And on top of that, straight rippins coming in, a little bit of money in the pockets of some of the winners here. So I will say, it doesn't mean everything. We're not talking about tournament play, but we're talking about practice. Yeah, practice.
It's super important to always talk about practice, Tony. In game, you know, it's whether or not you want to talk about practice after the game. You know, that's a tough one. Context is super important as well. Could easily be taken out of, for example. But yeah, these two teams, like we said, it is practice, but there is money on the line as well. So you can tell these teams are going to be bringing the heat. Plus, you know, for a lot of these players as well, and you know, something for me as a competitor, it's always more than the money factor. It's there's so much history, right? There's so much drama in the scene, something people don't understand about the professional gaming world. While it is great to play, you know, it is not great to wake up in the morning and have to change teams every day in these crazy roster mania periods that happen.
I can only imagine, and I mean, roster media may be fun for the fans, us as the fans, but I will say, as a player, as a coach, or you know, we also feel, because you know, obviously we're talking about real people's lives, and yeah, well, as of right now, we have some solidified teams, KrakenSeas and TaylorMade going at it. And by the way, if you guys don't think the practice is important, I'm gonna scare you guys real quick, and I don't think a lot of people realize this. DreamHack Atlanta is May 15th. That's a month and a day. That's a month and a few hours. Isn't that crazy to think about? We're having another LAN in literally a month right now. So the practice definitely will add up here. It definitely becomes more important the closer we get to Atlanta. Kind of crazy to think about. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. You blink and it's already here. And if there's ever a time to talk about practice, so that you're not stuck talking about it after the game, is you talk about it before the game and before the tournament, and that starts right now.
Snipe in the hands of Druck. Go sky high in order to take down Acid like that, but don't like the sniper hitting the ground here, so somebody's gonna get a free one. Meanwhile, Suppressed get a nice little double kill, chasing down Falcated, who already goes down, and TaylorMade right back on the hill. Kraken may have lead in progression, but TaylorMade have the setup.
Yeah, even on the score progression though here for this capture, kills are pretty even as well, but last game kill leader Suppressed is leading the pack once again. Soul Sniper does what he can, does get traded out though. Nice repulse by Suppressed. 2 go dead now for KrakenSeas as Drunk is fighting to do what he can. Wow, great cleanup and nice movement here to stay alive, but you only have 1 push now here if you're going to stop this first cap.
I don't think it's gonna happen because they double stacked that hill. Although Boo Boo Doo was able to take down one, he can't take down both, at least not in time to stop that hill from being captured. Still 3 down, go tailor-made. Acid moonwalking his way back, trying to slow his roll a little bit, and then eventually tries to at least get a trade, but Boo Boo Doo Boo survives.
Oh, but Boo Boo Doo Boo goes for an early challenge. Suppress hits perfect shots across the map. This is going to really open up the map here for TaylorMade. Druck doing what he can to try to fight 3 people, but the QT is not in a great position to help him survive. That makes Boo Boo Doo Boo last guy alive. Does pick up a kill onto Sab with some perfect shots. Great job here by Boo Boo, but that's all he can do.
Still 1-0 lead here for TaylorMade. KrakenSeas trying to try to stay alive and try to get themselves over toward the hill, and all those soul snipers able to take down one. It's flashy, but still it's KrakenSeas that are 3 down. It's TaylorMade that are scoring here, and it could quickly become 2-0.
Ooh, Acid misses the first shot onto Boo Boo, but hits the second one. Couple trades come in. Pretty far progressed on this hill, but you can see KrakenSeas, they're just so scared. I mean, what are you supposed to do on these pushes, Tony, when Acid's hitting shots like this?
GG go next hill. I mean, the good thing for them is that they're spawning on the blue side of the map. The bad thing is that Acid is melting through them like freaking acid. 2-0 start for TaylorMade, and you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. That's why you bring this man over toward the North American region and you get him on your squad ASAP because he is a dynamic player.
Incredible damage and kills and just everything coming out of Acid as he scores, locks down and secures that second capture here for his team. But ultimately, KrakenSeas wins the trades and the spawns here in the blue. Suppressed does what he can, picks up 1. Acid, another, does get traded out. Boo Boo and Druck in a good position to work together. Great QT from Druck, but does get cleaned up once again. That's going to leave Boo Boo here by himself, and he falls.
Yeah, I like the fact that Druck using that QT offensively right there, waiting for the distraction. Somehow a huge double kill happening over toward the crystal side. Falcated now continues to score here for KrakenSeas, and if they win this hill, I mean, you got to talk about the clutch of Falcated.
Yeah, Falcated completely just a few kills in some time there, as it looks like he may have been taken out, but does in fact lock down the kills and the capture. Boo Boo is in engagement, does call for help as you see multiple players running into crypto here, but they're getting collapsed on themselves. Trade comes in from Yaxin, but there's so much damage here, I'm not sure Kraken can live.
With a 2-1 lead here for TaylorMade, it feels like a must-win hill for KrakenSeas. As hard it is to take that middle sniper bridge hill, by the time anybody takes it, whether it's TaylorMade or KrakenSeas, a ton of time is going to be drained off this clock, which favors TaylorMade, who are still in the lead.
Oh, Boo Boo can't connect on the first shot. That's going to put him in a tough spot. Almost able to grab some kills on the elbow, but luckily Soul Snipe will be there to clean them up. Grabs himself a double kill. Last player, or a couple players in the middle of the map here. Soul Snipe finds a few early shots onto Acid. That's going to force him to run, but he's getting pushed by 2. Great decision making, though, to not get caught off by these players trying to collapse on him. And get the sticks, or gets the stick onto Yaxin. That was disgusting. Druck's now going to be able to grab Hill with New Sniper.
Yeah, some great time being accumulated by KrakenSeas. Must-win time that they're looking at right now. Snipe in the hands of Druck and just barely misses the headshot. Acid survives and continues to thrive. Soul Snipe turns and burns him real quick, but the trades are still going down. Boo Boo Doo is going to make his way back over towards this hill and pick up exactly where his teammates kind of started with trying to get as close as possible to that 50% portion of the hill.
Yeah, like you said, almost halfway there. It looks like they do Acid just now as we say that. Druck getting some good damage down, buying time for his team. Val's working on a flank. Druck, great job, great positioning. Gets extra damage, gets his shields back, picks himself up a kill. But now you're going to have spawns coming over here towards blue. I like this decision by Kraken to push this. You don't want to let them all spawn up in here. Falcated does clean up another. I think there's a player below them, though. He ends up in front of the base with the rest of TaylorMade pushing out from red, so we're split 50-50 again.
I'll get it back over toward the front lines here, but Jackson coming in for the early challenge, and Jackson being a tricky kill eventually takes down one right before getting cleaned up by Druck as he switch back on gear over towards Acid, who's going to run into two different players on the KrakenSeas roster, softens both of them up. Both players are one-shots, but nobody's there for the cleanups, I don't think.
That was almost an incredible push by Acid. He went so quickly, I don't think they were expecting him to be there. But KrakenSeas plays it really well in this scenario and walks away with a kill and gets their health and shields and everything back here. With only a minute left on the clock, they're trying to be very careful to make sure they can lock down this hill. Druck trying to live once again. QT getting ready to spawn. Numbers advantage is over to KrakenSeas. They've got eyes on both players. This should be a hill if they can start cleaning up these.
And this is exactly why I said this is a must-win hill for KrakenSeas. When we started this hill, there was 2 minutes and 40 seconds worth of neutral time on the clock. Many people know King of the Hill on most maps and say, oh, that's enough time for like 3 or 4 hills. Yes, theoretically, but this hill takes forever to capture. We're talking almost 2 minutes of gameplay before KrakenSeas end up taking that. Now imagine, oh my gosh, hold on. Druck with the double, almost gets the triple, eventually gets the third, suppressed, throwing everything at him and the kitchen sink. But man, what a play by Druck. I was gonna say, just imagine if TaylorMade win that hill when it's 3-1 with 16 seconds on the clock. The game's over at that point. So that's why I said KrakenSeas had to win that hill.
Right, and it wasn't KrakenSeas playing to kind of win or get 2 caps. They were using that 2 minutes on the clock to make sure they get 1 cap, and they were playing it exactly that way. There was no rush. You know, if they were down by 2 hills before, you know, they need to cap immediately. But Suppress grabbing himself a disgusting overkill with sniper spawning as well. This is going to be a tough situation.
That suppressed the motherfucking Dawn in the building here. And notice how he pushed past the sniper, didn't pick it up right away because he didn't want to give any indication that he was making that unorthodox aggressive play. Love that level of thinking out of Suppress. Those are the plays that are made by pros that, you know, my diamond lobbies will never even think about, you know?
Oh, I mean, that was just incredible overall plays. Grabs himself another body shot after that as well. Somehow, though, Boo Boo Doo had pushed through the hill and did a great job of getting KrakenSeas kind of better spawns and the ability to contest this hill. And it just kind of looks like better overall teamwork coming out from KrakenSeas here as Druck grabs himself a kill. The spawns, however, are benefiting TaylorMade as they got into blue. They do know Boo Boo's on a flank. He has QT, gets a little bit of damage, but kind of not enough. Soul Snipe does a good job of keeping this player's shields down. About 10 seconds left to cap the hill, so they're gonna have to make a play here now.
So close to doing it. And his next point wins. And TaylorMade are simply gonna hold on. KrakenSeas, they're playing them tough, but TaylorMade come out with yet another clutch. It's 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row after losing the first game. They bounced back really well. Dominant Origin game. Well, I wouldn't say dominant per se, but a clutch Origin game, and then another clutch Lattice game here. As it, let's see, we got Suppress at 25 with 17 assists. So that is almost front page news basically here. But most kills, most assists, probably most damage, and that would put him at most damage back-to-back games.
Yeah. Almost 6,500 damage, only taking 5,500 in return. This is what Suppress is known for. You know, again, putting down max damage, not taking as anywhere near as much damage, picking and choosing his spots really well. You saw him shoot a 70% accuracy last game on Origin, and 61% ain't that bad. Acid gonna outdo him in the accuracy department with almost 72%. And it just tells you that right now, TaylorMade are shooting, they are frying, and KrakenSeas are clearly going to have their work cut out for them.
I mean, these two teams are just kind of running at each other, headbutting back and forth, and it's a super mixy game. And what we're seeing really is whoever gets these sniper rifles really just start taking over it and kind of being the most impactful. I'd say in the first couple of games it wasn't as much so, but in that game especially, the amount of body shots, like these guys are just so accurate. The other part is, Acid as well, when he hits these shots, or Donnie also, when they hit these shots, if they don't hit the headshot, they're immediately on their bandit and cleaning up the kill, and it's there's no chance of missing either. It's just perfectly lined up the whole time, even when they switch weapons. So they're so accurate with their sniping and so consistent, being able to win these long range trades. That last hill especially, Suppress got that sniper, cleaned up a few kills. It did get mixy for a moment, but ultimately, you're just having such a great early lead and being able to secure blue spawns the whole time by getting all these snipes.
Yeah, I mean, and when you get into clutch moments like that, where it's like you have to hit that piv, you got to hit that no scope, and then the bandit out for the 2-piece. You lean on those thousands upon thousands of hours worth of gameplay that you have, and again, I'm going to use the same word, practice. When you get into those moments, you lean on your habits. So why create bad ones? Continue to play scrims, continue to get better and better. Find and play every tournament you can. So this way, you're always ready for that oh so important clutch moment.
Oh, absolutely. And, as we head into the next qualifier as well, I mean, it's 4 spots up for grabs, and it's all qualifying spots as well, right? So, while everything leading up to this is great practice, obviously points are going to be a big thing for determining bracket. One thing is we haven't seen, the other inconceivable roster here with Bound in there. They're going to be a very low seeded teams. These are sometimes the scenarios that really throw a wrench into how the bracket kind of plays out in some of these circumstances. So as we get ready here for game number 4, we're looking at recharge strongholds.
Yeah, a lot of people said we were missing a lot of teams, a lot of players at DreamHack Birmingham, and the reality it was very hard to get out there. Well, Atlanta, as somebody who lives out here, I can tell you, very easy to travel for almost any part of the world. You can get a plane ticket for cheap coming here to Atlanta. One of the reasons why I love, or many reasons why I love this beautiful state, this beautiful city. As Druck gets that shotgun hands, and clearly he knows what he's doing with it.
Yeah, early lead here now for Kraken as they secure the hills, secure snipe, a couple of headshots, some damage onto these players trying to push through gold, and Needles, Falcated, good job trying to live. He will be on death cam, doesn't go down quite yet. Melee does come in, but the first one missed, but that's a triple kill now for Soul Snipe. Last player alive is Suppressed. He's trying to push his way towards gold, but it looks like they do have eyes on him.
Mr. Soul Sniper taking away souls from the enemy team. And man, another 3 down. Now Acid, he's spawning up by himself. It might be isolated here. He somehow is able to take down Soul Snipe. Falcon does get involved, and bro, Acid, that ain't right.
Yeah, that was incredible play by Acid here. He hit some perfect grenades into the gold pipes, and even though he's getting pushed by 2 players with grapple as well, he takes one out and caps the hill, so just gets tailor-made right back in this game.
40-9 lead here for KrakenSeas. Sab with 1 big kill, a little extra damage on top of Soul Snipe, who's already working on taking Alpha, also trying to cover his teammates back from across the map. He won't be able to keep Druck alive, but he will take Alpha. Tailor-made scoring, Falcated infiltrating.
Falcated in a 1v1 here with Suppressed on Batledge, but Suppressed wins that engagement. Some nice grenades come in as well, will help get himself the kill and his shield's back. They're pushing into A. There's 2 players trying to work together. Boo Boo Doo Boo sticks one of these guys off the ground. Incredible play, but is it going to be enough to get them back into scoring position?
Kind of feels weird when we talk about Suppressed and Falcade on 2 different teams. Like, what? Literally just a month ago, they were getting 2nd place in a tournament, and now they find themselves on different teams. Roster Mania was absolutely insane, and so was that play by Yaxon. Love the grapple play, love the tailor-made, able to take a triple cap, but can they hold it Sab now with the camouflage?
Yeah, they do have the triple cap. They have camo, like you said, in the hands of Sab. They know there's a player here in C, but the spawns are coming off towards A as well here. Will he be able to get one of these reset?
But with Sab with the camouflage, tailor-made with a nice lead here, why don't we hop into the comms of tailor-made and find out what's going on? Ooh.
He can't weak kill a guy.
Yeah,
Enemy team.
he's
Needle's
dropped.
weak. Needle's one shot.
Oh,
Needle's
yo,
one
Astros
shot.
bottom
Needle's one
recepts.
shot.
Bottom
Needle's one
recepts.
shot.
Two
Going top
and
right,
A,
going
two
top
and
right.
bottom A.
Here. Oh, behind me, see?
Two bottom A, one shot.
There's a guy here somewhere. Oh, they're here.
Take it.
In A, on A, on A. Up. On A, down. Long, guys.
Yeah,
One's long in
that's
tower.
I'm here, AK.
Yeah. Let's do
AK,
it.
don't boys.
One shot, one shot.
No, 2C. I distracted you.
Go for it, go for it. And when you guys
So
get
one-
to red.
No one's tower yet. One stacks the front tower.
Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah, it's one red.
Stack
Red
switch.
stairs,
Stack
red
switch.
stairs one. Red stairs
Needles,
one.
needles, needles.
All right, you heard the comms, what it was looking like when they had the lead, they had control, and you even heard what they looked like when they lost that. And KrakenSeas were able to take a double cap, which eventually is going to lead to a lead in favor of KrakenSeas. TaylorMade being tested at the moment, and every single one of these games have been oh so close. So why would this one be any different?
You can see Falcated, he tries to push into A, picks himself up a trade, Soul Snipe. He's in gold, but he has heavy pressure coming in from TaylorMade. With the help of Druck, though, they pick up the kill onto Sab. Yaxon gets dropped playing around Sniper as well, and that's going to open up a potential opportunity for an A push.
128 to 99 lead, favor KrakenSeas. Druck trying to take A and cross map Yaxon at the same time. A little bit of an ego chow, but Druck stays alive, and Sab does the same over towards batteries while taking down Boo Boo Doo. Still double cap for TaylorMade. Druck, BR in hands and getting some max damage. Down to one shot, he's gonna get cleaned up real quick. Falcon is trying to get activated. All this happens. TaylorMade is still scoring, and Suppressed wins a 1v1 that'll certainly slow down KrakenSeas.
Pressed, Acid, and Falcated all breaking the 10 kill mark as we look at Sab securing himself camo as well. So he's going to be looking to join that with his 9th kill. Rotating around, trying to defend C. Acid gets dropped, so he knows there's some players over here towards control.
Still has the camouflage to Seb, and a lot of responsibility on his hands here. If there's any chance to break through the setup of KrakenSeas on the back of the camouflage, and I will say those are some great shots, some big time kills, and his team needs to activate through that, and that's exactly what they do. An immediate 3 down, and Yaxon not wasting any time hopping in this hill and chasing down Falcated.
Yeah, Yaxon getting some good damage down here. They will go ahead and elect to push B as they know they need 2 captures. They will go ahead and lock down A. They have a little bit of a deficit, but as Yaxon grabs himself a kill, he's got grapple to work with, going for a long flank. We're electing an AC hold now for TaylorMade.
Double cap being held. Yaxon finding 2 different KrakenSeas members and waits for the right time to strike, and that's a double kill that leads to a 4 down. That is not what you want to see. If you're a fan of KrakenSeas, you know what comes next. That's the trip cap, baby.
That is the trip cap, but you've got all 3 players next to each other. Good chain reaction damage coming out from Suppress with 3 there. He gets some major chain reaction damage, but good defense coming in. For the most part, nice nades here from Yaxon will secure himself 1. They recognize the spawn coming out from A, but can they stop the cap? Sure enough, Suppress cleans up the kill. Soul Snipe, though, did get 1, so that'll help stop some of this aggression.
And just like my morning strawberry smoothie, KrakenSeas are in the blender right now. TaylorMade, they were in quite the deficit, but TaylorMade find the ways in order to just turn things around so quickly, find a way to attack the spawns. The trip cap has held so much longer than any trip cap should, and look at how TaylorMade continue to punish them. 209 points and counting, and everything is seemingly working their way. Falcated has to win a crazy 1v1 in reversal just to take 1 base.
Yeah, but Val wins 2 crucial pivs back to back, including a ridiculous one on the Sab with the plasma pistol there to keep them in this game. Just as we say that, 3 members down, Val, he's not going to be able to do enough to help them lock down any captures or get this camo as Sab secures it once again. And this is looking like a tough spot now for KrakenSeas as we reach the final stretch.
Another camouflage for Sab, which I just feel like maybe like it's third in a row. I feel like it's at least 2 in a row. I know that. And the last time, Sab definitely made some game-changing plays, game-defining plays as he softens up Booba Dooba from across the map, takes a few shots in the back courtesy of Falcated, but the moment Falcated does that, his presence is known, his location is found. Sab somehow stays alive and his teammates are picking up the kills.
They still got a little bit of camo to work with, but it'll be running out here shortly. Does get in Hill in time to contest this with 2 players. 3 go down. Falcated, last player alive, top gold, isn't going to be able to do anything.
That's it.
And that's going to do it.
Wow. Sab. I thought he was gonna play that like way too slow with the camouflage, and I think he realized it. So he had to do what most camo players would never do, and that's like he sprinted to make sure he got in the hill to stop them from taking. He's like, oh no, I need to get in this hill right here, right now. And the moment he did, he ended up put a couple shots down. His teammates were there for the cleanups, and that was big across the board there. But that was unfortunate. I think most camo players in that moment, they would have played that way too slow and not give up their life. But Sab needed to give up his life in order to secure that win.
Yeah, I mean, having the stronghold captured is just so important around B, especially towards the end of the game. Like, getting in and contesting it to cap it is great, but like not letting that fully cap and just playing your life and, you know, basically delaying it as much as possible so a reset can come in is, you know, what we saw at the end of the game and basically guaranteed them the win. It is just so hard to sometimes clear out those players hiding around all 4 of the pillars. The nades are extremely difficult with the explosion radiuses and how they work, where it can be right next to a player, but if there's no like clean line of sight because they're hiding on the ledge, it's not going to damage them. So you can just see how hard it was for KrakenSeas to even try to get that cap. They had to put multiple lives into B, and as soon as that contest came in, it changed everything.
Yeah, big clutch plays and the plays that matter, and those are things you're going to take into the film review, and you're going to make sure that you build off of that. Like, hey, look, keep that same energy in tournament time because you're absolutely going to need it. And guys, I want to play a fun game. Let's play a fun game tonight, guys. I want to play a little drinking game. I'm going to take a shot every time Suppressed doesn't have max damage in the lobby, and I promise you, by the end of the game, I'm going to be stone sober. Because even when he doesn't have the most kills and most assists, he somehow still has the most damage. Most of the time, the least damage taken as well. It's so far 4 games in a row that we've seen that, and it's been the same result.
Right, and it's not just him as well, because I think Acid especially is opening up the map a ton, because when it's not him with the most damage, it's been Acid. And not only that, his ability to win some of these pivs and just open up space on the map, it's just given everyone on the team a lot more room to work with.
You know, with Acid making those valuable plays, I was saying, like, why don't we start on board with him? But a little bit of Caster's Curse there, as Taylor Made will get wiped off of the face of Aquarius. Boo Boo Doo was able to grab a hold of that camouflage, and now look at how they're going to continue to try to keep Taylor Made trapped over towards their base. That's what Boo Boo Doo and KrakenSeas are working on.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo Boo gets some good damage down, helps his team lock down utility. Not able to clean up the kill on the player who makes his way into the base or the one who escapes towards the back, and that's going to be, unfortunately, a lot of uncleaned up damage.
Camo still in the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo, holding down the top mid control. Love the way he's just firing a couple of shots and then just playing his life, keeping the enemy team guessing, but also staying alive with this camouflage. For a very long time, Boo Boo Doo Boo was known as one of the better camouflage players that we have in the league, and just the way that he thinks about it. But eventually, Sab and Taylor Made have had enough of that. They go right at Boo Boo Doo Boo. I have to give him a couple lives in order to get it.
Right, Boo Boo Doo Boo not grabbing a lot of kills with that camo, but he did get 5 assists, so really good job. I kind of like that style of play with camo as well, especially against these teams that are either playing super defensively or, you know, constantly kind of sprint strafing and just making themselves really difficult kills. You just get that free max damage, and backing down, you're just making sure you're not going to get traded out.
what's the old saying? You know, good players win 1v1s, great ones avoid them, kind of thing. Oh, little insta-splode action coming out of Boo Boo Doobu. Gotta love that. Jackson gonna duke it out with Soul Snipe. The only thing is, Soul Snipe, he's just a decoy to allow Falcated to get this flag over towards their base, and his teammate being a little bit of a meat shield, covering his teammates back, securing that capture 1-0 lead for KrakenSeas.
Yeah, 1-0 lead, but Camo is spawning in 10, and KrakenSeas is, for the most part here, just trapped in the back of their base now. They do grab themselves 2 kills. Several players weak in the back now as well. Soul Snipe not able to clean that up. Triple kill from Suppress. They throw the flag. I think Foul's grabbing Camo, though. He's getting collapsed on you from utility spawners as well, and does get cleaned up. So Camo is going to be taken out. Flag already moving, and we may be looking at a tie game.
And with TaylorMade about to try to force this one in, Sab doing everything he can to move the flag forward, but also stay alive. Acid's there for the alley-oop, dunks that one in, and TaylorMade are on the board. And last shot with a huge raid. Love you, brother.
Yeah, big raid. Welcome everyone as we are watching KrakenSeas versus TaylorMade. It's been a close series so far, but TaylorMade, after losing game 1, has answered the next 3 in a big way. Suppressed and Acid putting out max damage for their teams here each game. As we said, tie game 1-1.
Enemy flag returned.
Flag does get returned and now being moved again here for KrakenSeas. 2 dead for TaylorMade, so this is going to be a good opportunity for them as they can spot out Suppress, which they do. Can he get these grenades on this player?
2-1 lead in favor of KrakenSeas. There you go. The moment that TaylorMade gets any kind of momentum, it looks like KrakenSeas taking right back, but 3 down go KrakenSeas. So now just flipping the table right back on him is TaylorMade. Boo Boo Doobu tries to overextend, but Acid is perfectly there to block his line of sight, and because of that, Suppress punches another one in, and just like that, we're tied up at 2 apiece.
Tied up at 2 apiece, but you have some of KrakenSeas getting into good position, at least trying to get into TaylorMade's base. Acid was the last player alive here momentarily. He is in KrakenSeas' fridge, doing what he can. He knows he's spotted out. Obviously taking a trade of some damage here with Boo Boo Doobu. Elects to push into the base. Not sure anyone from KrakenSeas is kind of aware of this at the moment. He does get taken weak, but gets the flagpole.
Flag is already out over toward the base, and as of right now being used as a bit of bait, but Falcated right through the front door, willing to take that trade any day of the week if it means Sab is able to get a return. Goes in after Druk. Druk wins that 1v1, and Suppressed flies through the mid-map. Not only be able to take Druk out, but also to keep that flag alive. Either way, TaylorMade still going multiple down. KrakenSeas still having map control because of that. You get a camouflage.
A pretty mixy situation. Suppress does get the flag out after some kills, but after a great win from Soul Snipe, he helps Boo Boo Doobu secure the camo, helps secure the flag return, and now with Boo Boo's, what, 2nd camo of the game now? Maybe 3rd? Let's see what he can do with it.
Maja Boo Boo coming in with the camouflage, and oh, Acid doesn't have his camo eyes on. You gotta be kidding me. Boo Boo got first 2 or 3 shots right there, and Acid just put him on a stretcher.
Yeah, it looks like Boo Boo might have been going for the strat. What we saw a little bit of is kind of early damage and back down live, but Acid was having none of it. Just full sends it at Boo Boo, catches him off guard, and unfortunately completely eliminates that camo.
Suppress is all the way pushed up over toward the enemy team's fridge right now, so it's gonna be blocking the side. Usually you want the enemy team to spawn, but P-side runs, they are possible. We can see them make something happen as Jackson sees his window of opportunity, gonna kick it wide open. Boo Boo Doobu doing a great job of fighting his way out of the back base. Because of that, multiple go down for TaylorMade.
Yeah, but flag does get returned as well. Now Falcated moving up extremely aggressively on the map. Those players are in the base here. But nobody's looking at him as they push up here through the window, and he grabs himself 2. That's going to be a good scenario as they start to push forward, but Sab, in an incredible flank, catches a player weak here, bottom center, cleans up the kill. not able to find the second, but that forces Acid here back into the base. Nade comes in, not able to secure the kill. And once again, just kind of a back and forth mixy scenario as we reach 5 minutes left.
Acid ribbon map. Sab getting chased out of the utility side. As he tries to push right through the courtyard, Druck cuts him off and takes down 2 with them. Not bad of a trade coming out of Druck here, and he's kind of not done yet. Boo Boo Doobu wants to pick up exactly where they left off and get right behind enemy lines, and I don't think TaylorMade are ready for this. Suppressed, a lot of damage being taken. Jackson does get a fortunate spawn, but Boo Boo Doobu and KrakenSeas are ready for that as well. KrakenSeas constantly find himself behind enemy lines.
Oh, Druck can grab this kill here. That would be super important. Suppressed, still living though. Back and forth scenario. Jackson gets 1. Jackson gets 2. Oh my, this is some mixy fights here, but looks like TaylorMade coming out ahead.
Top P belonging to Jackson. Oh, hold on. 3 down go KrakenSeas, and TaylorMade are already in the base of Kraken. Somehow Falcated and Kraken spawn over toward the util side, but it's not enough to stop that flag from making it through the P side. I think it's still on the move. Yeah, Suppressed, he already has it toward the P door here. He takes a bit of damage, but not enough. They might be 3 down, but Suppressed keeps his eyes on the prize.
Yeah, great job by Suppressed. Lines up the flag, hits the slide. Speaking of that, Tony, you know, that's not guaranteed, right? There's a skill factor in getting those flags capped, and sometimes you think you have it and it comes back to bite you, but not there. Suppressed locks it in.
Yeah, we saw an unfortunate flag cap not happen during Championship Sunday. It was Luminon versus Shopify Rebellion. Precision just barely misses the flag cap. And Shopify Rebellion immediately counter cap and take that game number 1. It was insane.
Yeah, that one is one you hate to see, but well done. You know, good practice one. You know, obviously getting in the mindset, being able to bounce back in these games, and one you should still feel good about though, because you're in position to win, and you know who knows what that looks like on land.
Yeah. I think eventually they ended up 3-1ing them right afterwards, so they weren't too upset, at least during the winter semis. But either was Suppressed with a big double kill off a screen. Suppressed able to get his 17th kill, and Sab now controlling the P side. You see the setup start to formulate. You see them controlling all sides of the map, just ready to pull the flag. And so Druck has something to say about that.
Oh, great shot.
Had something.
Suppressed though. Camo in 5. 2 minutes left in the game. Falcated, he's leading the game in kills, but not able to win that 1v1 here with Suppress as he gets taken out. He has 24, almost 10 more from anyone else on his team. Camo now is up. Soulsnipe trying to get eyes. Druck and him playing around securing this. Jackson in utility, contesting, get some good damage down. Soulsnipe, great movement. Does get the camo as long as he gets away cleanly here. We got 1:40 left to work with.
That's what the best players and the best teams in the world do. They multitask. You see the damage going down, forcing that player out of that line of sight. The moment they back down, there's no hesitation. Curb slide, grab camo, thinking more than one step at a time. It's a chess game, and oftentimes players just can't even find the board. But because of that, Soulsnipe's able to pull that flag off of the base here, still having camouflage in his hands. Falcated takes down the 3rd member of Kraken, and Suppressed may have gotten a clutch kill, but it's nowhere enough to stop that 3rd flag cap from going home.
Soulsnipe still has some camo to work with after sneaking into TaylorMade's base, grabbing flag and running it across the map. Does tie this game up with 1 minute left. Gets rewarded with a thrust here as they're chasing this player down in Fridge. 2 die, make that 3 as this player should get cleaned up as well. 4 dead. Soulsnipe and no one in position to pull flag quite yet. They're gonna have to get a few more kills. He's out of thrust now, should trade this out. Sure enough, he does. Last 3 players spawn towards Fridge. Some good damage and aggression coming in. 3 dead once again. Jackson, last player alive. He's stuck back base, and Acid spawns out.
This is an interesting point in the game here. 22 seconds left, so you don't want to pull the flag willy-nilly, but if you have the advantage and you're thinking cap, we could see a team try to force sudden death, especially as Kraken did momentarily go 3 down. A spawner comes up just to get knocked back down, and I promise you, that is definitely a time when you want to pull that flag. 3 seconds. Can he get the touch? Somehow Sav does, and that will force the pie chart to sudden death, and the flag's still moving. It wasn't just touched, it was relayed. Acid and Jackson get kills. Drunk is still on his side of the map. The flag is gone.
All right, end it. End it. Wow, Taylor made, like we're watching a repeat of some of these earlier games, just the final moments secure the win before, or I guess in overtime. KrakenSeas, they did what they could. They tied up the game. They had that last camo, but ultimately too many resources get used up to secure the cap, and it opens up an opportunity for a counter grab in literally the last final seconds.
Everybody on Taylor made in the 20-point club as far as kill wise. Acid and Jackson though, with quite the bit of assist as well. We might finally see a game where Suppress gets usurped as far as the damage column goes, because Jackson and Acid doing it both in the kills and the assist, and Action Jackson is going to be the one dropping over 7K. But meanwhile, in a losing effort, almost 8K is Druck right there. So Druck also putting down some max damage.
So, I mean, what we're looking at is Kraken heavily out damaged TaylorMade. But TaylorMade was in control most of the game. Druck, yeah, 7,800. That is super impressive. He was just dealing and taking all the damage that game. But with how close that game was, that's definitely another really kind of heartbreaking loss now for KrakenSeas. So we'll have to see if they're kind of getting disheartened in any of these games going forward, or if they can bounce back here, because there's not many opportunities left before the series is decided early on when it starts out like this.
Yeah, I mean, if losing truly is learning, then and you got to put extra value on those close matches, and that's where you got to hit the VOD views. That's where you got to find out, what do we need to do in order to get over the hump. There was I think 3 big crucial flag caps that maybe if you stay alive in a certain situation, you get a kill or 2 here, or you take a different route, you could have avoided that. Well, if we find out where that is, what we want to do, and what we want to accomplish in certain points in the game, we can see KrakenSeas again build off of that and become an even more stronger and a well-polished team. Remember, these teams are still very new. Falcated is brand new to this roster. Boo Boo Doo Boo also was trying to get acclimated to the Druck and Soul Snipe duo. TaylorMade is a brand new roster seemingly out of nowhere. So these teams are still very new and they're still growing.
So are we still playing a game, Tony? Because if we are, that game says you have to take a shot right now.
I was hoping nobody remembered that. I'm taking a shot of this good old-fashioned smart water. Let me tell you, this good old-fashioned water right here.
Well, you do that though. Boo Doo Boo, he's got sniper rifle, cleans up 1 kill. Not able to connect on that last shot. Acid grabs himself 1, but that puts 2 dead for TaylorMade. And as this is King of the Hill, KrakenSeas has had a really strong start to this game.
Hey, Alex with the raid. Thank you so much, brother. That's my old duo right there. That's a big raid. I think he was doing some watch party for some scrims earlier as well. And as of right now, KrakenSeas, TaylorMade duking it out. But KrakenSeas at least getting the best of them early on as far as his first Queenside Hill.
Yeah, big shout out Shyway as well, and welcome everyone once again. Around 10 seconds left to cap here for KrakenSeas if they can lock this one down. That's 3 dead. Sab, last player alive. Somehow no shields. Does grab himself a kill, but gets cleaned up once again. The spawns are going to be much further away here for TaylorMade. This is going to be a tough hill to contest. Suppress doing what he can, get some good damage down, but after the clamber gets killed by Falcated.
Still not done just yet. Switch gears over towards Falcated. Nice back smack out of him. Turns that into a triple. Are you not done? Are you not done? That's an overkill by Falcated.
He's got a shot.
Oh my wait. Kill the kill tackle. Okay. Big Falcated's in the building.
2 overkills already so far in the series, Tony. So definitely not disappointing. We've got Camo getting ready to spawn. The first hill goes over to KrakenSeas, like we said. The TaylorMade with 3 dead should be able to get control of the map, boots in hill, and weapons.
Well, welcome Raiders. This is how the scrim has been going on this entire time. They've been back and forward, and although it's a 4-1 series lead in TaylorMade, I mean, we're talking about 1 cap, you know, a few points the difference. It really has been a war so far through the first 5 games as KrakenSeas takes the first hill and TaylorMade about 90% done with the second.
Yeah, we'll see if TaylorMade caps it right away or decide to step out for a moment as you have everyone from KrakenSeas hiding in back A, setting up for this new hill. Looks like they do decide to just go ahead and cap that. They've got Camo Sniper to work with here, so I like that decision. Soul Snipe does get cleaned up. Boo doing what he can. Does have some hill time. Moving around, somehow grabs a kill. That's a really good trade there. That he should probably not have been able to get that one.
Yeah, I was actually maybe a bit of a missed opportunity. Maybe I thought they should have stepped out of the hill and just try to pull KrakenSeas a little bit out of their positions and allow Camo Sniper Suppress to go off. But I mean, somehow TaylorMade still find the kills necessary. It's not only to be able to take over hill, but now the follow-up kills as well. Not only they take over hill, they're able to put KrakenSeas 3 down. That's a lot of time being accumulated by TaylorMade.
They're coming off spawn in dummies, and Donnie hits the first shot. Not able to connect on the second, so that should give some opportunity for KrakenSeas to try to play out or contest this hill. But as we see Falcated also get cleaned up, not looking too good on this one. A lot of time left on the board. TaylorMade taking the lead.
So close to finishing out this hill here. And it looks like that's where they decide to maybe try to force KrakenSeas out of their position. Want to make sure that they don't get too much of a head start toward the next hill. But TaylorMade go 3 down. You may have capped the hill, but you gave up a whole lot of bodies in order to do so.
Yes, Soul Snipe doing what he can, tries to get a stick onto the player. Would have been disgusting if he did. Almost stuck his teammate. Might have been closer to sticking his teammate, but luckily that doesn't happen either. 10 kills apiece for Suppressed and Sab. See, even after all that, KrakenSeas not able to really get any time on that hill, now having to work off of a fresh push.
Suppressed over toward the back green side. Very important spot to be in if they want to try to hold them over towards A. It could force KrakenSeas to try to push through dummies, especially when Camouflage is up. Druk gets a double kill. Soul Snipe takes down the third. Yax is somehow still fighting with the Camouflage, but Soul Snipe gets it. Can TaylorMade finish his hill?
I mean, TaylorMade just opened up the game for KrakenSeas to get back in it. I kind of would have liked to see them just cap the hill and give up Camo, just contest it a little bit here. They probably would have capped it, but they all push away and try to contest Camo. They go 4 dead in doing so. KrakenSeas then gets Camo and the hill again. We may be looking at a tie game.
And it feels like this hill is actually even more important because if you think about its positioning, it's the only hill in this game where controlling one side of the map converts to where you want to be for the next. Like, if you have a player on tower helping control this side of the map, well, you also want them on tower to control top mid where the hill moves. So it feels like this hill is even more important because sometimes it can turn into a back-to-back hills where it doesn't happen all the time.
Right, it's the one that the hill is not moving across the map and you're having to push into a pre-set up team. It's you set up and you basically almost guarantee yourself, if you play it right, 2 hills back to back.
Snipe in the hands of Yaxon was eyeing his teammate with it awfully too much. I don't know what his plan was there. As he now tries to work on the enemy team here. They're the blue members, Yaxon. Oh, but the nades cleared him out of tower.
Fantastic grenades come in. That's going to open up the map. Snipes down top tower now. Falcated in a couple of pivs. Gets some good damage down. Acid, though, gets the sniper back. Disgusting headshot onto Druk with the repulsor to guarantee he stays alive from any grenades or melee opportunity that may have existed. Foul gets cleaned up as well. That's 3 dead. Wow, he goes straight for the hill. We'll see if it worked out well. Boo Boo Doo Boo, great play actually, because he could have just gotten cleaned up there. Does buy his team a little bit of extra time and 1 kill. Druck, though, he's already been taking no shields and acid with no snipe ammo, but plenty of shields to work with. Only 15 or so left to cap. Nice job contesting this by Boo Boo. Gets a stick somehow as well. Incredible play, but Camo here is also coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. When I watched the tailor-made roster, I was like, who's going to be able to get the sniper? Because I feel like every single one of these players on their own teams grab snipe, but I guess whoever's closest, because they all seem to go off with it. And right now, they need Suppressed to go off with this camouflage. Perfect shots, big damage, 4 down, go KrakenSeas, and that should be a guaranteed hill, and them moving over towards the next. Beautiful execution by tailor-made.
Oh, absolutely. And this one's going to hurt really bad because even though they lost that hill, if they were just able to kill Suppress there, see Plat, they would have been able to been in a great position to push the hill once again. Now, luckily, Camo is gone, and there's still a decent amount of clock and hill to work with. One player gets cleaned up. Druck, incredible strafe to stay alive, no shields, and grab himself a 2nd kill. This is exactly what they needed.
He's going down, trying to chase away Acid and tailor-made away from the green side. Even the QT, not enough to confuse Druck too much there, as eventually tailor-made pushed out over towards green. Druck forces his way in. The other 2 members of tailor-made, actually rotated towards tower, and somehow KrakenSeas even ready for that push.
Yeah, and if they get an early pick, make that 2. Player bottom center, Acid wins his piv. Great job there. They need to get someone else over towards the hill. Looks like Soul Snipe will go ahead and jump in, but Yaxon, he has an opportunity to push out B or garage door here and get towards the hill. But just as we say that, tailor-made, they go 3 dead. And we're looking at a situation again where maybe it's not just 3, it's actually 3 hills in a row, Tony, that you want to control tower, apparently.
Apparently, right? Suppressed with the sniper, though, and if there's any chance of them kind of robbing KrakenSeas of this hill, it's gonna be on the backs of the sniper and headshots like that. The Big Don able to lay down the law. Meanwhile, another player goes down here. KrakenSeas sending everybody over towards green. It might be advantageous for Suppressed to just back down and control tower with the snipe. That hill is moving, and as Suppressed goes down, he should be spawning soon there.
Yeah, this could come back to bite them, actually. Suppressed hit some disgusting snipes and almost kind of keeps KrakenSeas out of hill and helps tailor-made lock it down, but ultimately can't connect on the 3rd and 4th shots and gets cleaned up by Druck here. So that opens up the map once again for Kraken to start pushing and try to get over towards tower.
And Soul Snipe, he is reading Suppressed and tailor-made like a book. He knows whenever Suppressed is the first one to spawn up, he loves to take space. He's not going to sit here and just push a direct route. He's going to push as far as possible, and KrakenSeas, they know his playbook.
Oh my gosh, Falcated making some plays, though. It does get sniffed out by 2 players dropping back tower, and with 3 to maybe all 4 members over here, this is going to be a very hard push. But leave it to Acid to help get the... was that a Druck stick or an Acid stick that gets stolen by Druck in the kill feed?
Who knows at this point? All I know is somebody is getting naded there. And tailor-made, about 70% done with this hill, really putting KrakenSeas on the clock. You may be set up, you may be the hill right now, but you're gonna have to have at least 1 or 2 rounds worth of slays just to catch up. Yaxon taking a whole lot of damage, pulls him out of the fight. Acid making sure he clears this player over towards green, and just like that, 3 down go KrakenSeas. Falcated spawns over towards dummies, but now Sab is here. Now they've just gotten wiped, and tailor-made could end it right here, right now.
I mean, it kind of seemed like that was a 2v2 scenario that KrakenSeas could have potentially won at B and, you know, maybe cleaned out those players, locked down tower once again, but it goes poorly and they don't get either kill, and that's just game. It kind of been similar to where, yeah, for everyone joining us, it's kind of how the games have been, where KrakenSeas is in position to win. They're either in the lead or neck and neck the whole time, and then they've just kind of fallen short at the end.
Yeah, tailor-made definitely feel like they're the ones that have a little bit of ice in their veins. They're the ones that feel like they just have that clutch factor because they've just been able to close out these extremely tight games. And I guess, to KrakenSeas' credit, in order for TaylorMade to clutch out a tight game, you have to keep it close the entire time. But TaylorMade are finding these wins. It's 5-1 in favor of them. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, and I love the combination of kills and assists. Jackson, I think, had 20 kills, 16 assists. Druck had a pretty high kill and assist as well. 13 and 18. Love that out of him. So great across the board when it comes to the kills and the assists. And I'm sure we'll be taking a look at the damage. And if there's one thing I know, Suppressed and Acid are going to be up there.
Oh yeah, Jackson as well this game. Pretty much all three of them almost neck and neck, but Suppressed, like we've seen for most of the games this series, has been in the lead once again.
Yeah, 5 out of 6 games is pretty darn impressive, if you ask me, coming out of Suppressed right there in the damage department. And I will say, I feel like I love a player like that who's just gonna put down max damage on the map and make the game easy for me.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, kills don't determine who's going to win. Damage isn't the most important thing to securing a victory. But when it's all said and done, if your teammate is doing the most damage and taking the most damage, they are definitely being a very impactful, to say the least, player on the map. And in most cases can be, as long as the damage and damage taken isn't, added with 25 deaths or something like that. In a Slayer, then, like we said, they're being a huge impact on the map and just making it really easy for your teammates.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we get loaded into our 7th game here, do yourself a favor, do us a favor, dude, drop the follows, drop the subs. Dude, Straight Rippin has been showing us some love for quite some time now, between the cash grabs, the multiple pro scrim watch party, the events and whatnot. I absolutely love what Straight Rippin have been doing, and hopefully you guys do too. It's at least worth a follow, and honestly, to me, I think it's worth your entire tax refund paycheck. Whatever you got in your tax return, just give it a Straight Rippin. Just give it a Straight Rippin right now. Don't invest it and do something. Don't worry. It's better in our hands than yours.
Enemy has the ball.
Couldn't agree more, Tony, here. But as we look at Acid with the sniper rifle, does connect on the first headshot, makes that a double kill as well, has 4 early kills for his team, but overall Slays tied now. No, still in favor of Kraken.
Enemy has the ball.
And so TaylorMade now with the first 2 kills on the board for KrakenSeas. They're actually going to bring that ball back over toward the red side. And we talk about it often. They love to stretch the map. They love to get in the face of the spawning players and make them as uncomfortable as possible. Boo Boo Doo Boo, you may have a sniper, but you didn't have any teammates, and TaylorMade are scoring.
TaylorMade scoring. Sniper in the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo, but only 2 shots to work with. Can't find the connection on the first one. It's taking no shields. I'd almost like to see him make sure he just used that here, as it could come back to bite them. Now Sab with that sniper rifle. QT getting ready to spawn as well. An early lead for TaylorMade. You can see they're trying to sniff out some of these last remaining players.
Good damage by Sab, but even better kill coming out of Druck there. And Druck, finds the one-shot Suppressed, and Suppressed, as fearless ever, goes in for the trade. Soul Snipe scoring, Falcated, ends up getting taken down over toward the perimeter. That leaves Soul Snipe by himself. He's forced to drop the ball and he'll have to try to fight his way out of a 1v2, which turns into a 1v3. He was surrounded.
Boo Boo doing what he can to try to come in, provide some support, get some extra damage down, but is it going to be able to do enough? That puts 4 dead for KrakenSeas. TaylorMade scoring once again.
Still on Soul Snipe right now. Some good damage here, and despite being in a non-advantageous position, still continues to tag up the enemy left and right, and at least open up an alley for his teammates in order to steal away 1 or 2 kills. Now Druck wants to try to play the ice side here. Boo Boo Doo Boo having to back down momentarily to play his life, but him and Druck have to work perfectly together if they want to break TaylorMade to get that ball out of their hands. What a 5 shot.
Yeah, big double kill comes out of Boo Boo Doo Boo. Perfect shots to grab himself that double kill and start racking up some ball time here for KrakenSeas, which they desperately need.
See Snipes going down here. And we see 3 members of KrakenSeas slowly starting to posture their way over towards that red base. As of right now, it's TaylorMade that feel like they've built a home here. Falcated and KrakenSeas have had enough of that. The ball does end up getting kept alive. Falcated trying to chase down Sab, but just doesn't have the team with them just yet. Gonna wait for them to spawn up. As of right now, both teams resetting ball over toward the mid map. Both teams have to guarantee slays in order to grab a hold of the ball.
Acid with the sniper, 5 shots left. And you can see TaylorMade, they don't really need to do much here. Ball's in a great position to be holding red base with sniper in it. It does go ahead and reset though, but as we say that, 2 go down, and if anything, it's just closer to TaylorMade than it was before.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
3 bullets in the sniper for Acid. And he's definitely been one of the guys that just continuously hit shots with it, and we'll have to see it right then and there. Right through the heart of Falcated with the sniper. Gets it on Druk, and the man had 3 shots. Well, fired off 2. It was 100% with it. Sab ends up going down, and somehow KrakenSeas, despite not having the sniper, are able to slay out, and that's just as important.
Yeah, despite not having the sniper and the sniper player actually grabbing 2 kills himself, they are able to break through and put some ball time on the clock here already. Suppressed though, he follows up, and as 4 go down for KrakenSeas, every time we see these great moments, it's just very short-lived.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
I think about a 66-23 lead in favor of TaylorMade at the moment here. Ball being rotated over towards blue. Sab finds himself over toward the opposite side of the map, which might not be exactly where he wants to be. That ball now is right in the hands of KrakenSeas. Druk with the double kill, not able to get the triple, but he is able to get the ball.
Enemy has the ball.
Is able to get the ball. Acid, 13 kills here, leading the game as far as frags go. Only a minute 30 on the clock though, Tony, in this first round. So a lot of time has been burned off. Fairly low scoring game so far, but you've got TaylorMade with almost a double point lead.
I will say though, you're able to slay out your way to grabbing the ball. You're able to defend yourself through 1 round of slays, and because of that, by the end of this, you should be within about 10 seconds or so of TaylorMade. And if you're able to slay out again, we're talking some big time points. But with Druk having that ball toward the blue side, he's gonna forcibly play that over toward the mid map. Maybe a pseudo play ball, but a lack of timing there. They're able to get the 3 down and the ball at the same time to TaylorMade.
Yeah, but Sniper and QT coming up as well. Basically, you know, if we're looking at it, it's essentially a 1-possession game now as we reach the final minute of the game. Sab, he grabs himself a kill. That's a difficult scenario for them to try to work around here. Acid does try to win this. Oh my gosh, had to hold my breath there for a second. Does max damage on 2 players, but eventually gets cleaned up. Less than a minute left. You've got KrakenSeas scoring once again.
This is crunch time for both of these squads. Boo Boo Dubu ends up getting taken down, cleared out of the red tower side, but Soul Sniper and KrakenSeas still having to fight their way out of the red base, especially with Acid hitting shots like that. Druk though, big time body shot, and now that they're in the base, Kraken have to drop the ball and fight out, but they're not able to do so. It was a 1-second lead, but TaylorMade break, and TaylorMade scoring.
All right, that ricochet on that sniper shot, I mean, that, I feel like you can bounce, or can you bounce shots around walls into that corner here? There might be some next level year 6 kind of action going on here.
I saw that sniper trail too. I was like, that would have been the craziest, like 2-for-1 collateral ever.
Please God, make sure this doesn't hit someone. This would be absolutely ridiculous.
88 points and counting here for TaylorMade. Another trade goes down. Sniper hits the ground. It looks like Booba Dooba wanted to go for a hike. Suppress wanted to do the same thing, but what goes up must come down.
A couple quick kills coming in here for KrakenSeas. 15 seconds left on the clock. They have to play super aggressive and get these cleanups. Sure enough, they do. There's 2 in front of the base. Great grenades come in, though. Booba Dooba, he's got to go for the ball. Does get it out of danger here, at least for the moment. Kills come in. Falcated's on a very big flank. This determines the game. Essentially, they're down by 8 with 9 seconds on the clock, but there's players everywhere.
I will say, quite impressed for Booba Dooba even get that much amount of time there, but it just simply was not enough. TaylorMade was already there, forced to play ball. TaylorMade taking round number 1, despite some high IQ and some great ball plays late in the game by Bubudubu.
Yeah, TaylorMade had a good, healthy lead, basically all around, and while KrakenSeas did bring it back and made it interesting, TaylorMade is the one that walks out ahead. Now, on the scoreboard here, Acid, he grabs himself his 21st kill. You've also got Suppressed and Yaxin in double digits with assists. Just heavily out-assisted and slayed here at the moment now for TaylorMade over Kraken.
Enemy has the ball.
Suppressed loves to be over towards his top mid bridge. We've caught him there multiple times, but so is Falcated, and so is KrakenSeas. I mean, that's multiple that go down. That's a good time for KrakenSeas. Soulsnipe playing in the base and in the spawn of TaylorMade. Here he is.
Ooh, nice QT comes in. Clean up for Falcated. Grabs himself the fresh sniper as well. Flying across the map. Knows where this player is. Does get eyes. Cleans it up. Should be able to block spawns here. Callouts are probably coming here for these players bottom mid. They know blue is where the spawners are going to be coming from. Oh my. Does get the kill. Nice shot by Falcated.
Ball dropped.
Oh, predict that Yaxin's gonna play the high side. Almost hits the shot, but Yaxin momentarily survives long enough for he and Suppressed to force Falcated out of the red side of the map. Big plays by them. Falcated somehow is alive. I don't know what just happened.
That was absolutely ridiculous that Falcated actually walked away with a kill there, and it left him some snipe shots to work with too, so that could have been really bad. KrakenSeas, though, they have an early lead. Several down here. Nice decision by Druk to drop that ball, finish off the kill. Will elect to go ahead and start rotating this ball here as they see their teammates are spawning in blue. QT getting ready to spawn. Another player bottom middle. I don't think the melee comes in, but the kill and trade does come in eventually.
Enemy has the ball.
Falcated from downrange. Big kill. Able to get the assist as well. Don't know if Yaxin and Ash are gonna be ready for him. It looks like both of them are. Little 1-2 combo coming out of them as Yaxin continues to cross the map and allow Sab to just come in early for the cleanups. And right now, KrakenSeas getting attacked from all sides of the map.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
29-2. First opportunity for TaylorMade to get really kind of any significant points on the board. But Suppressed does go down early, so this is going to make any kind of push very challenging. Acid, he's got 25.
Ball dropped.
Only player passing 20 on his team. But now within the slays, we do see KrakenSeas start to even this up a little bit.
Back-to-back kills from Sab and Acid, but they do end up going 3 down. KrakenSeas want to take that ball, but they also want Sniper as well. KrakenSeas will have to get greedy here if they want to continue to have TaylorMade on the ropes. Over toward the low side, finds a one-shot Sab. Love activating on the call-outs immediately. No call-out is left behind, but apparently it's the same on the other side of things as Acid goes to the...
And we'll see if they're able to hold and lock down. Sniper comes up. Falcated does grab it. 22 for Fal. 24 for Soulsnipe. Starting to gather in on this lead here. Acid at 27, but lots of ammo here now to work with.
Okay. Falcated, the silent assassin, comes in with some smooth moves and some big-time snipe shots.
Yeah, great overall plays there. Druk, though, flies out of the base, cleans up one, and is doing whatever he can to buy some extra time here. We are under 2 minutes left on the game clock. Acid, he has sniper rifle. You can see TaylorMade, they're looking to kind of play for either a ball rotate or they just want to keep this out in the open until they get some picks, as they know they're waiting for Yaxin to spawn, but importantly as well, where does he spawn? They know all the players are over towards red as this push is starting to happen.
Ooh, Snipe hits the ground here. You know, Soulsnipe wants every part of that. Immediately turns that into a double kill. Turns the Sniper into a pseudo shotty. As a Druk able to get out of dodge. Once again, TaylorMade going 3 down. 35-13 is the score line.
Yeah, great shots coming by Acid here as he reaches 28 kills as well. 18 assists from Yaxon and Druk. So pretty even across the board now here for both teams. But the largest lead now for KrakenSeas coming in game or round 2. They're looking to tie up the rounds.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
Falcon on the rotation here. Wants to rotate it towards his spawning teammates and away from the enemy team spawn, and was able to do that, but still just not able to stop the damage going down. So plays the ball towards the mid map. Problem is that KrakenSeas have no line of sight. You got 2 players stuck over toward the bottom mid tunnel. Boo Boo Doo in a great position, but he's by himself. Can he turn the double into an overkill? Probably not.
Not quite, but he does get some extra damage down. And with a minute left on the clock, not a lot of time to work with here for TaylorMade. But KrakenSeas cannot let off the gas here, because by no means is this over.
Enemy has the ball.
60-25, TaylorMade scoring. Boo Boo Doo taking a whole lot of damage on the way to finding some kind of shots over towards the ball rotating players, and they're able to do so. Falcon actually stopping that ball from making it past the bottom mid tunnel. Suppressed does come in with a bit of a cleanup kill onto Druk. We see Sab now giving up his life in order to try to get that ball out of that bottom mid hell.
Soul Snipe does clean up the first ball carrier, but it allows Yaxon to relay the ball over here in the blue with 3 dead by KrakenSeas. Druk's trying to get some damage down. Spawn's bottom red somehow comes away with a kill onto Acid and max damage onto Yaxon as well. So definitely doing everything he can to secure this round 2 victory. Does eventually get cleaned up, but Boo Boo, he's hunting down these kills.
Less than 20 seconds on the clock right now, and Boo Boo Doo trying to avoid this fight here with Yaxon, but Yaxon chases him down. Right back over to the high side he goes, and looks like Acid is also there, grabbing a hold of the ball and trying to catch up here. TaylorMade, they could steal this away and then play the ball right as they take the lead. KrakenSeas have actually gone 3 down. It's very doable, Elamite.
Tony, this can't be doable, right? Not again, right?
They can't keep getting away with this, but they just might. Falcated, clutch double kill. Acid does end up taking the lead, tries to throw the ball away. Druk's not able to get it. Oh my gosh, Boo Boo Doo does though. Wow.
See, I wasn't even worried, Tony. I don't know if you were worried, maybe. I wasn't worried. I knew there's just no way.
Oh,
there's just absolutely no possible way it would happen again.
Yeah, I'm not sweating or anything, or I'm mini heart attack. I just need you to take over for a few, cause I can't breathe out of out of calmness.
What a round though. This game, this series has not disappointed here. These 2 teams are neck and neck, and if we see these 2 teams match up in the qualifier, you'd be sure it will not disappoint. And you know, we talked about last week, Tony, Luminon, Shopify Rebellion, 10-1 series. What happened when those 2 teams first met up in the bracket? 3-1 series win Luminon.
Snipe in the hands of Acid here.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
Snipe able to make some plays, but right now playing a little bit of ring around the rosy. Eventually, able to find Druk, able to stay alive. Boo Boo Doo though, not having any part of that. Not able to get the snipe though. Boo Boo Doo finds the exit route, but that snipe still is near TaylorMade.
Oh, but I like this. It's an early reach out. Didn't even wait for all of his shields to come back, but plays it really well. Does QT once again, but does get cleaned up. That's going to put the ball back over here to TaylorMade as we are in round 3. TaylorMade off to an early lead, and this doesn't bode well for KrakenSeas here. I think, you know, similar to a round 1 start that we just had. Sniper still over there in the hands of TaylorMade as well. Now super clutch stick comes in. Should open up the map a little bit here, but a great rotation comes in from TaylorMade, and you can just see KrakenSeas, they just don't have the answer at the moment.
I won't say suppressed. I love the damage they was putting down, and maybe a little bit of an ego chow toward the end of that. If he was able to stay alive, it would have been a great life, but Druk takes advantage. Rotating that ball back over toward the red side. He knows that TaylorMade are spawning in blue.
Yeah, Soul Snipe doing what he can. Really good job playing this pillar. He's got player top red tower. He does push out and clean up, immediately reacting to try to help out his teammates. Great shots, gets the kill onto Yaxin. Has the call out from these players, no shields. You've got them both, looks like weak, rotating away. A nice job to actually stay alive and keep this fight going. We're going to need to see more time on the clock here for Kraken if they're going to get back in this.
Well, Sab doesn't define the first here, and just gonna try to jiggle peek his way to taking down Drug. Soul Snipe has his back, but apparently Acid is joining the party as well. 38 seconds so far, and more to come for TaylorMade.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully when they go back and they look over some of these games too, you know, I think one thing we're seeing is throughout most of these like kind of great moments and runs that the players are having, you know, they have 14 seconds. I feel like they should have at least 30 seconds this game already if they kind of played around the ball a little bit more with how they were picking up some of these skills.
Yeah, it's almost a lot different than we saw in that game number 1, Oddball and Livefire, where we saw a very objective, efficient KrakenSeas. Just not the same here on Lattice.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like the roles have reversed, where we're seeing the super objective efficiency now from TaylorMade and Kraken really kind of struggling.
Both teams decided
comes in handy.
Both teams decided to go into the Shadow Realm in order to try to fight it out for a little bit. That was kind of crazy. Falcon is, I want the repulse, I want the ball, I want sniper. Give me everything.
Yeah, Falcon like a kid in a candy store, bottom middle here. Finds what he wants and gives ball to his teammate. Does get cleaned up though. That one's gonna hurt, but it is 3 dead, so they should still be able to get this time, make that 4 dead, and a staggered kind of approach. Now Soul Snipe's the kid at the candy store as he finds all of the goodies. But this is kind of a tough spot to be in when you have all the goodies in the hands of the ball carrier.
Yeah, I feel like he saw Boo Boo Doo. He might have traded that out with them, but then saw Boo Boo Doo playing the perimeter. So he's like, I don't know, do I pass? Who do I pass this to? And eventually, as your teammates go down, now you have to drop the ball. Now you have to fight, but doing a great job of doing that. Oh, no.
Suppressed. Make sure if anyone's chasing him, they're not going to be able to do that as that nade bounces backwards. Does get cleaned up, though. Ball over in the hands of TaylorMade, though. They're looking for a rotate. Spawn's coming over towards blue. Great peek shots from Acid. Does clean up that kill. Sab, he's hunting down these players as well. Spots out. Boo Boo Doo cleans it up. He's got 2 players on him. Nice nade, but he's not going to connect on any damage. Just once again, back and forth. Super mixy game. 37-73. And final, really, this is going to be the final push now here for KrakenSeas as we're reaching the last stretch.
Both teams getting a bit scrappy here, almost like 2 boxers deciding to go to the middle of the ring and absolutely just throw haymakers. And that's really what we're seeing, but this time it's KrakenSeas able to win out on that one. Now Druck, not wasting any time, right over toward the spawning members of TaylorMade. He will to sneak away 1 or 2 kills here. Well, that's the first. Now distracting Yaxin, now trying to distract everybody, just being the decoy to allow Boo Boo Doo to continue to score.
Yeah, but Dooby trying to get this kill onto Acid, does go ahead and clean it up. It will get taken out. That puts 3 dead, and I don't think anyone's going to be in position here. Soul Snipe doing what he can, but he's got to make a V-line to this ball, and even then, I'm not sure it's going to be enough here. 41 from Sab, 47 from Acid. The push comes in, the kill feed gets lit up for KrakenSeas as 4 go down, and that's going to be another game here going over to TaylorMade.
Was that a little slight disrespect there? Like the last second drop at the 99. So I don't think that was an accident. Maybe he was like, yo, if I drop this ball, Acid, you'll get 2 more kills. You'll get the 50 bomb.
Sometimes you got to go for it. Let's see here. So pretty, like we said, it's a great series. Just unfortunately, scoreboard-wise, has not gone in KrakenSeas' favor. However, like we said, it's practice. And does practice matter? A little bit, but not that much. As we take a look at the scoreboard here, Acid 48, Sab 41, Soul Snipe with 40 as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite impressive. That is quite, and also the assist as well. Really impressive out of them as we take a look at the actual series scoreboard. And in case you need a reminder, TaylorMade doing a whole lot of winning, 6-1 right now. And we talk about it time and time again. They've been close matches. Capture the flag. Both games decided by one cap. Both King of the Hills decided by one hill. Like, they have been so close, and obviously the oddball was impressive as well. From the live fire to the lattice, we've seen 2 round 3s. It really has been that close of a fight, but TaylorMade continue to just clutch it out.
Yeah, I mean, the oddball, it pretty much sums up the way each game has gone, whether or not it's flag or strongholds. You know, that oddball game pretty much is the story that we've seen here so far. But if you saw last week, Luminon versus Shopify, 10-1 series score, and Luminon coming out hot in the tournament, completely turning it around. Practice gives you an opportunity to really just talk about the game. There's great VOD review opportunities. A lot of these players use that to their advantages here. Not a lot of time as we go into the final qualifying tournament for Atlanta, and placing is everything here. Top 4 teams go. Everyone else is stuck in there on your own. So it's definitely a lot of value up for grabs.
It definitely is, and also I also want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat here, because I mean, obviously want to give a shout out to competitors putting on an absolute show for us. Thank you so much, KrakenSeas and TaylorMade. But can we also give a shout out to the people at home, because of y'all, we just hit 1.1K followers on Straight Rippin's Twitch channel. Like, this is a new channel here. Like, we kind of started all over, and let me tell you, that is quite impressive, a milestone. As somebody who's been streaming myself, I know Elam, you've been streaming for a very long time. That first 1,000 follows is absolute magic. So to be at that 1.1K and to not even be doing it for all that long, you guys are absolutely amazing. So thank you guys at home for all your generosity when it comes to the follows, the subs, all that good stuff. You guys are on point. So KrakenSeas and TaylorMade, go and add it. This is our second pro scrim night, and to be honest, I would love to do this weekly, but we need your help in order to do that. We need you guys to continue to follow, continue to tweet out the stream, let your Discords know. You know, if it's something that we see the community wants, where we're able to average, you know, XYZ versus follows, XYZ versus subs, we'll continue to do this week after week, but it's up to you guys, honestly. So thank you so much. Me and Kyle love commentating, and if you weren't here, we'd just be having a conversation. I guess nobody would be listening.
Well, I mean, you know, you say that too, but it's actually so true, because, you know, I think something that stuck with me early on, coming from, you know, a spectator and enjoying watching and, you know, looking up to the pros, and then, you know, going into the scene, you can recognize very early on, like, okay, well, none of this exists without the fans, right? Because the fans make it happen. There are no matches, there is no esports, there are no competitive games. Like, at the end of the day, it is the only thing that truly matters, because you know, it doesn't exist, you know, without them or without us. Because even at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a fan, you know, and even though the HCS technically isn't around, and, you know, other things too, it's like I still enjoy the game. I love watching the game. I've loved it since the game came out, basically, too. So, and that ultimately just doesn't happen without fans.
That it doesn't. And speaking of fans, you have Timmy Forges, the creator of many maps, including Lattice, which you play in competitive. Timmy Forges in the chat, dropping 300 bits. So not only dropping the follow, showing love that way, but also showing love in the bits as well. You know, and it's actually crazy. At 2,000 bits, Kyle is actually gonna start doing some kind of TikTok dance, apparently, at 2,000 bits. He told me before the stream. I don't know if he's still willing to do it, but that's what I heard. 2,000 bits, and we're gonna get a TikTok dance on an Elabite as we're waiting for KrakenSeas.
I'll copy whatever dance you do, Tony.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, another 300 bits. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All right, Biddy, the bits are so nice. Timmy Ford just did it twice, 600 bits total. And again, we're now 4,300 away from apparently me and Kyle doing a TikTok dance. You know, maybe we'll make something happen at DreamHack Atlanta. We'll actually we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll
get some practice down here, Tony. Yeah, we need to get some reps in.
We need a scrib.
We need to
to
bring
scream.
back some like OG, YouTube viral dance moments. The
And
Victory X Macchio dance video. If anyone is OG enough to remember that viral video. Not really Victory X and Macchio, but we called it Victory X and Macchio.
there's been some great times, and we're still waiting for the matches to show up. I just want to say what's up to everybody here. We're obviously doing casting, we're doing production, but we're also kind of like laid back, we're kind of chilling as well. So I know I see in the chat. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. Aliek, huge fan, one of my favorite streamers to watch. Aliek is one of my favorite streamers to watch because she always has a giant smile on her face, and it's very contagious. Like, it's just whenever you watch a stream, she's having a good time. Chad is having a good time. If you haven't already, make sure you check out Aliek. Timmy Ford's in the building. Coach Thug Nasty is here as well. What's up? What's up? Quad Shot. I actually used to play with Quad Shot way back in the day. Oh my gosh, that brings me back a little bit. Bunch of real ones in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, so waiting for the games to get underway, but we'll be back into the series momentarily. So what is it, 6-1? So I guess they technically have already won the series as well. Or is it 7-1 now? I should have just lost track of the series score. But either way, I think they may have locked it in. But nonetheless, like, this is, like we talked about, this is just a small factor of what's important and what really matters going on. And this is just, for us, a sneak peek, right? A glimpse into what may be to expect. But if anything, it could just be a 180 of what to expect next week, right? It kind of just depends on these players and what they do, right? It's not our story. Who wants it the most? Who's going to put in the time? These roster manias, there's so many skill factors, I guess, involved. And then especially when things get as chaotic as they are now, or as kind of Wild West, one of the reasons why you don't see as many team changes and stuff during HCS seasons is because everyone kind of like signs contracts. There's players, orgs, everybody kind of wants to know what they can expect and forecast right out for like a year. But then once that kind of goes away, then you might as well, like what we've been seeing is it looks like you're throwing everybody's name in a hat and you just see what sticks, or darts at a board and see what sticks here. So it's been pretty exciting as well, because we're seeing a lot of these teams and the changes actually really benefit these teams, and some of the competition, looking like it's starting to get a little bit closer here too. So we'll see how that carries over into LAN. Of course, it being right around the corner, we're 30 days out. Lots of exciting stuff on the horizon. Like, you don't need, I mean, to be honest, some of the programs, it's like grassroots a lot of times are the most exciting, or organic, if you want to come up with a way for it, esports, where it's just the most natural. So it's super cool. Like, obviously developer support and everyone else being involved creates opportunities and does things for everyone involved that we would have no other way of being able to accomplish or do. But at the same time, like, you get the diehard fans, you've got everything that's coming out of the scene essentially coming out from passion and passion alone. There's no people doing this because we're gonna, like, oh, I want to make a ton of money this year, so Halo is my game, right? Like, nobody is saying that. It's, if Halo is your game, it's because you love the game and it's your passion that you're still around too. So that's one of the fun sides, I think, of it as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. And maybe we need to go back to a little bit of grassroots stuff, because I mean, I feel like there was a large part of the Halo esports world that I never got to experience. Like, because I only watched from home. I never actually went to LANs until my first LAN to Halo 4. Like, honestly, having a
Oh,
bunch
I'm
of
sorry.
buddies, I only did it one time. 5 of us get a hotel room, and we all just kind of chilling in one. There was only 2 beds. We had some of us sleeping on the floor. Or what I heard they used to do, they used to like sell like a sleeping bag kit, and you used to like be able to like actually just stay at the convention center, wherever it was. You stay in a sleeping bag and just kind of, it was almost like a giant sleepover. I was like, what? That sounds awesome. Forget an Airbnb with XYZ, my closest friends. Which, by the way, I would love to do that too. Airbnb at a LAN, but let's just sleeping bag it up in the in the convention center.
Yeah, some of the BYOB and kind of DreamHack things that they do. I've never kind of stayed in the convention center, but I think back on it, and sometimes going to events and staying at events, that's where the most people you've ever fit in a car, the most people you've ever fit in a hotel room, generally all comes around events or traveling or experiences like this. So, you know, I definitely remember some hotel room experiences where, I mean, because every place would be full, so the high real estate would be somewhere where you're not going to get stepped on while you're sleeping in the room. So you got to find, you know, under the coffee table would be a solid place. I had one guy who would sleep on the coffee table. I've never seen it before, like who could sleep on a coffee table. This guy would just sleep on the dresser, on the coffee table. And if you could do it, it's actually a high real estate location because you're definitely not going to get stepped on because you're getting stepped on in most of these scenarios. Somebody's in the bathtub, right? Hey, dude, I got to shower. Get out of you. Wake up. Get out of the bathtub. Oh, of course, great time.
It's actually funny. Actually, you know, it's funny. I only went to one event where I stayed with my teammates, and I got stepped on. I got stepped on by Simply Satanly on his way to the restroom.
Yep. Definitely. I mean, it's not just like,
I
that
did
would
not.
suck.
I did
It's
not
like,
pick the right
wait.
spot. I did not pick the right spot. Well, and from now on, I'll make sure I pick the right spot on the next time we do something like that. And why don't we take a little bit of a break here? When we come back, we'll have more of your straight ripping pro scrim night, guys. Don't go anywhere. Yo, welcome back, guys, and thank you again for joining us on our second iteration of your straight ripping pro scrim night. It's something we want to try to do every single week, and again, because of the love and support that you guys have shown with the follows, with the subs, the bits, all that good stuff, you guys are really making this happen and really making some noise. So I do want to thank you. I do have some unfortunate news, and I don't like being the bad guy, so I'm gonna let Elamite handle that.
Nice, Tony. Well played. Yeah, so unfortunately, it looks like one of the players had something come up. So, with the series already being essentially concluded as far as the tournament aspect of it goes, players are electing to go ahead and call the scrim on that one, get prepared, rest for the tournament as well. So, definitely the most important things here, like we said, are this is practice. This is a great opportunity presented from Straight and Everett and everyone involved to just give us an opportunity to kind of watch games, have a lot of fun with it, kind of set the stage and expectations for what we got coming up here on these qualifiers. So, great games, every game super neck and neck. Whether or not these teams match up, we'll have to see how the bracket lines up, which we'll know here soon. But, big shout out to the players for being involved. Tony, great casting with you as well. Unfortunate, but hey, more Halo in the future.
And we got some big love from Jackson saying thanks for hosting. And honestly, Jackson, thanks for playing. Thank you for putting on a show, and to all of our competitors that did so today. It's been fantastic here. But guys, you don't have to worry too much, because even though we're ending one show, we're ending this one. It's going to continue on with one of our good friends, Eli X. So I should have probably passed the rate over to him. You already know, if there's Eli X going to be on your screen, no matter what game he's playing, there's going to be some crazy snipes. So before you guys get sent over to them, make sure, again, last time, drop the follows. Make sure you drop your subs, all that good stuff. Show some love in the chat. If you got
Master
any
Chief
questions,
wants a
comments, or
1v1,
concerns, jump it in. Oh, what?
Master Chiefer wants a 1v1 here. I feel like if this happens, there's only one thing we can actually do here. So we
What's
just
that?
got to go to the streets. Take it to the streets.
When you're looking for a fight, you gotta take it to the streets. Well, you know what? Maybe next week we'll give
Next
you that
week.
1v1 as a nice little warm up for you, Master Chief. I like that. I like where you're going with it. I'm sure Straight Rippin would throw a little bit of money on the line. He's been throwing a little bit of money on the line for these scrims. So if you guys want to see me get tossed around the map by Elamite, come back next week. All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace.